Good morning, everybody. Look who's back in the potting shed. Sexy Shaun, apparently. Good morning, Elaine. Thank you for that message. He loves it.
I'm just pretending my mic's not working, by the way. Yes, Sexy Shaun just read.
I know.
Sexy
Good morning,
Shaun.
Elaine. I'm Lovely Bex and you're Sexy Shaun.
Yeah, apparently.
It's the best compliment of the morning.
I've not heard that in about 20 years, so thank you very much, Elaine. But lovely to see you. We've got a great show, Bex, haven't we?
Yeah, we've got some beautiful things. If you were watching us yesterday, I know you were busy at QVC, but if you were watching us yesterday, there was, I think it was 10 items that we didn't actually show you. So we do have some new stuff for you in the potting shed this morning.
And I'm looking, we've got garden ready, we've got some lovely perennials, we've got an amazing deal over here where you get 18 perennials for about 20 quid.
I know, it works out less than £1 each if you're in the
club
club.
member, and ready-made hanging baskets. And we've got a few unusual things actually as well.
Yeah, there's some beautiful things on the show today.
Yeah, right, we have got a free gift as well.
Yes, and we think this, I mean, we've kept this over from last week and it is the best free gift to be receiving at this time of year. This is our Blooming Fast. It's the packet that is normally worth £4.99 and will make 100 litres of the best feed that you can get for your plants.
Now that on average is about 20 watering cans, so amazing in terms of the value of this. And you know, I've recently started to use it. I mean, I've used it for years, but as in I've started to feed my plants. Yes, had a bit of time, and it just makes such a huge difference. So stockpile. I mean, I do whenever this is on offer and the free gift, I do stockpile, place several orders, and it just means you've got enough food for your plants, hopefully all the way through the year. Do you ever use it on house plants?
Do you know, I haven't, and I probably should, actually. So I'm going to do it because I'm due to do my next feed very soon. I might get out in the garden tomorrow and do that. And I might just go around the houseplants and do it as well.
I've started to.
Yeah.
Why not? So that is your free gift worth £4.99, but you do need to use the offer code YGTV2424. That's a nice easy one today, isn't it?
It's a lovely
24,
easy one.
24.
Yeah. This will automatically be put into your basket as soon as you enter that offer code, so you don't even need to worry about it. Just always use the offer code. It gives you the free gift, but it also unlocks everything else, doesn't it?
Yeah, so if there's a buy one get one free, if there's a special discount, it will give you access to all of that. And don't forget you can order online, but you can give us a call as well.
Yeah,
so
phone lines are open.
Yeah, if you prefer to have a little chat, the number's there, 0844 502 0050. And what we love is your interaction. I mean, Bex and I were talking before the show. You know, we've built up a really nice community of gardeners that watch us regularly. We love it when you email, we love it when you send your pictures. So ygtv@yougarden.com, or you can chat on YouTube and Facebook as well.
Yeah, we've got the Facebook, we've got the YouTube chat here on the iPad. Stu is monitoring the Facebook chat.
Yeah, we need to give him a bit of power still, don't we?
Absolutely. Yes. Good morning, Roger, by the way. I know you're watching on Facebook. But yes, I've also got the emails, or Stu and I will... Stu, you're Shaun. He's Stu. Shaun and I will be monitoring the emails as well. So any photos that you'd like to send us, you know how much we love seeing your gardens, what's going on, especially when it's things that you bought from us here at YGTV.
Yeah, and any questions, we will do our very best to answer them between us. And if we don't know, we always consult our head gardener, Peter McDermott.
We do indeed.
Yes, who is always watching. Should we say hello to him as well?
Good morning, Peter.
Morning, Peter, and the team, the YouGarden team. But I just can't wait to get started. Should we start with these new items then?
Yeah, and can we start with the Fatsia? Stu, can I?
I'm going to say yes.
All right, he says. Absolutely, we love... Well, I do.
I do.
Fatsia
I've got Fatsias, yeah.
This one is absolutely beautiful, known as the castor oil plant. I just love how tropical and lush and verdant and green Fatsia is, and the fact that it looks like this all year round pretty much as well, doesn't it? It's not deciduous, it is evergreen. It looks absolutely stunning.
And I like the fact that they will tolerate quite a lot of shade as well. I've got one of mine in quite a shady corner.
Yeah.
And it actually does very nicely.
It does beautifully. This actually has the Royal Horticultural Society Award of Garden Merit as well, which we love pointing out whenever we have those kinds of plants, because it just gives us confidence, whether we are experienced gardeners, beginner gardeners, intermediate gardeners, knowing that it has that award means that it's garden worthy. It's met those rigorous trials.
And it does mean that it's pretty much suitable for most gardens as well in the UK. But you do get flowers as well.
They're late as well, aren't they?
Yeah, they're winter flowers.
It's quite an interesting plant. You've got obviously all this gorgeous big palm-shaped leaves there, but then you get these really intricate, kind of odd-looking flowers. They're really interesting.
They are.
They start around sort of October time, don't they? And they go through November and into December as well.
I mean, I've had mine right in the middle of winter before. But as a plant, it really offers so much. It always looks good, very easy to grow. relatively fast growing as well. My mum's got one in a pot, and it's stayed like quite a reasonable size. I've got a few other borders, and I'll be honest, one of mine's got really big now. It must be, I think one of mine is at least 1.5 meters, I would say.
Yeah,
nearly.
my friends have got one in their garden. I mean, I've planted one. I've got the spider's web variety. This one is so lush and green that I feel like I quite want this one as well. So mine's relatively new, but it's growing really nicely. But my friends have got one, and it grows up against the wall in their garden. It's got to be 1.5 meters, nearly 2 meters tall, and about that spread as well. So they can really fill gaps in borders, but you can keep them in pots quite happily. If you want to restrict the size, if you haven't got a big space to put it in, you can keep it in a pot.
And that's a really good size. It comes in a 17 centimetre pot. That is a really well-established plant right now. So if you've got that gap in one of your beds and borders, you're thinking, what can I put there that looks good all year round? And one thing I've learned, having quite a large garden with different beds and borders, you really want things that look good for most of the year.
Yeah.
Yes, it's good to have a few deciduous plants and herbaceous plants, but you really need those stable plants that look good all year round. Otherwise, I've got one border that in the winter time, just there's nothing there at the moment. I am changing it, but it just died down to nothing. This is going to permanently look good every single day of the year.
Yeah, and it's really not fussy about soil type
Oh,
either.
no.
So it's really happy, even in clay soil. So if you're like me and you've got clay soil,
it's good, yeah.
Some things don't like that clay soil. And you have to look at what you've got in your garden and plant things accordingly. This one doesn't mind.
Very easy to grow, fully winter hard. And say, for those shady spots, it actually does remarkably well.
Yeah,
Mine does get some sunlight, but not a huge amount.
No, mine gets a bit of morning sun, so it gets an hour or two in the morning, and then it's pretty much in, not deep shade, but shade for the rest of the time. And it's having a lovely life there right now.
And fully winter harder. Even we had a really bad winter a few years ago, and in my garden it got down to minus double figures. And a few of the growing points, I'll be honest, it did get a little bit damaged by the frost, but it all grew back beautifully.
Yeah, sometimes
really
it just looks a bit sad for a day or two, but then it perks right back up again.
Actually, the funniest thing is when you get like a really bad frost and the ground's frozen, it does literally do that.
Yeah.
And then the moment that it warms up, it just goes like, back again.
Nice
So
again.
So don't panic. Fully winter hardy, very easy to grow.
Well, fully winter hardy also means that it has our lifetime guarantee.
Yes.
And I'm so proud of that lifetime guarantee here at YouGarden, because I've had a little look at other places that sell plants, garden centres and the like, and I've seen places that do maybe a 1 year guarantee. I've seen one that does a 5 or a 6 year guarantee on their plants, which is brilliant. But ours is a lifetime guarantee. Anything that is fully winter hardy, you're looking for the snowflake symbol on the product page. If it's got that snowflake symbol and it says winter hardy, it's the lifetime guarantee.
So you imagine in 20 years' time when I'm here with my stroller, fully grey hair if I've still got any, and you think, I remember buying that fancier in 2024. Now it's died in 2044. We would still replace it.
We would still replace it.
All you need to pay is the postage.
That's it, indeed. And it's only £14.99, and it's a really nicely established plant. And as Shaun said, it's quite fast growing as well. So if you want to fill a gap relatively quickly, Fatsia will do that for you.
And actually, work out the value. So $14.99. All of you lovely club members, you get it for $13.49. But you will get, even if you're just buying the Fatsia, you will get your free gift worth $4.99, which is a Blooming Fast, which is a brilliant all-round fertiliser, really high in your NPK and all of your trace elements and minerals as well. Right, should we say hello to everybody?
Good morning to everybody. Should we have? There is lots, Stu. You're absolutely right.
Anyone else said that sexy Shaun is back? So that was just a one-off from Elaine, wasn't it?
There's Neil in the chat. Good morning, Neil. He's saying good morning to everybody.
I don't think he's going to call me sexy Shaun.
He might. You never know. Julia's saying good morning, everyone. Elaine in there. Kev is in there as well, saying good morning. So thank you so much for your company. We do appreciate it. Have we had any emails yet? We might be a bit early. Oh, Elaine, you're straight in.
Come on, Elaine.
I love you, Elaine. Straight in with a picture. Let's have a little look. It's loading. It's loading.
Oh, it's my picture from Naked Gardening Day.
Oh, look at that.
Oh, no, that's nice.
That's beautiful, Elaine. In the Diablo pot as
Wow.
well. What variety is that? It's one of the standards, isn't it?
Elaine, was that one of the set of 4 standard roses?
It
one of the
looks
bare
like
roots?
it could be.
Do you know, I'm always really proud when I see the standard bare root roses, because when they arrive, they do look like a stick. They really do.
Broomstick, yes. That's what Stu always calls it.
Yeah, they do. But there's so much in there waiting to get out. So let us know if that was one of the 4 bare root roses.
You did send a picture of this yesterday because I was like, what have you got planted underneath? And she says, underneath are the begonia apricot shades, which we have coming up later on.
Perfect.
Well done, Elaine. Thank you.
Perfect companion plant.
Yeah, lovely. Beautiful. They'll trail over the edge. They'll look beautiful.
Now, Bex and I were having a bit of a discussion about eucalyptus before the show, weren't we?
Yes, we were. Because you've got one, haven't you?
Yeah, and I have got a big garden, and yours isn't small. It's
no, it's not small.
No, it's not.
It's a regular family garden. I'm quite, it's a nice sized garden, but I would never plant a eucalyptus tree in it.
No, you wouldn't, would you?
I wouldn't.
No. And
There's
your
no way.
And your neighbours wouldn't thank you for it either.
My neighbours would not thank me at all for planting a eucalyptus.
So I've got a massive eucalyptus, but it's fine because the only things that look into our garden are the sheep.
Yeah, because you're out in the countryside.
Yeah, I'm out in the countryside, so it doesn't matter. But having said that, my eucalyptus, when we have to get it cut back, it cost us £600 last time.
Yeah.
That's a huge amount of money, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's huge. So we've got a really compact one.
Absolutely.
And
so
it's a standard.
If you've got that smaller space, and you definitely can't plant a eucalyptus tree, which, let's face it, I think they're the fastest growing, aren't they? They're ridiculous. They can get so big. If you've got this smaller space, but you want a eucalyptus, because it can provide so much. You've got year-round colour with this. You've got that gorgeous fragrance with the leaves as well.
Divine, Bex,
this is the eucalyptus that you want to plant in your garden.
It's really sweet, isn't it?
I love it.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of all the standards that we bring here. This standard shape, and some of the bushes and shrubs that I've got in my garden, I've actually sort of fashioned into the standard shape as well. I've taken away the lower leaves so I can underplant. You don't need to worry about that. We've done that already.
Yeah.
This has already been grown into that standard shape. Keep this you could plant it out into a border quite happily, but you could keep this as a feature in a beautiful pot somewhere, and you've got that year-round evergreen, gorgeous colour. And you've just crushed one of those leaves, haven't you?
Yeah, you can smell it.
Oh, it's delightful.
I was feeling a little bit bunged up this morning. I don't know why, but
hay fever? Did you get hay fever?
No, it's probably been in London yesterday. It's a bit of a smog. Much as I love being in London, don't get me wrong, but yeah. This I think it looks gorgeous. It's really pretty. I love a lot of my garden. Part of it is all kind of foliage, and foliage is really on trend. And what I'd love about this, if you do grow it in a pot, again in the summertime you can underplant it with some summer bedding, things like a slight bit of shade, because obviously you're going to get some shade there, and in winter you can put your winter pansies and things like that in there.
Yeah.
So it's going to always look good and very easy to stay this kind of size.
Very easy. A little bit of pruning just to sort of maintain the shape of it, and of course you can cut stems off this as well to use in cut flower displays. You often see eucalyptus branches used within cut flower displays.
I think it's one of the most...
Adds that lovely foliage.
I think it's one of the most popular fillers in a bouquet.
Totally.
And it adds that lovely fragrance as well. The leaves are slightly small on this variety as well, aren't they, Bex?
Yeah, because it is that gunny eye, the smaller
you can see,
variety.
Very nice.
So, it's beautiful.
It
I
really
adore
is. And only $24.99. And that really should be with you for a lifetime. Going to give you interest and pleasure in your garden for many, many decades to come. And does arrive in a 2-litre pot. And so the top will get bigger and fill out. So if you want sort of like a bigger head on this, you could obviously allow that to happen. But very easy, just keep trimming and cutting this back and keep it at
I don't think you even need to worry about what time of year you're pruning and
trimming
that either, to be honest. You can do that at any point. It is fully winter hardy, so it has our lifetime guarantee, and it also has the Royal Horticultural Society Award of Garden Merit. So, yeah, you can plant this one with confidence.
Yeah, and the gunny eye is actually one of the hardest eucalyptus, isn't it?
It is.
It really is. I mean, they're all pretty hard, but this is actually one of the very hardest. So if you're in, the north of England, in Scotland, it would still be absolutely fine. Really like that one.
Yeah, it's lovely.
Yeah.
And I think if you're looking for that pairing, that symmetry that we often do, and you can afford to push to it, a pair of these would look absolutely gorgeous either side of something.
So right, let's have a little wander.
Let's go, shall we? We're going to go to the summer bedding now.
I've just done 10 of my 10,000 steps.
There you go.
Right, so we've got loads of garden ready coming up for you right now. I'm going to start off with the geranium Fire Queen. I've actually planted this in my mum's garden because my mum's partially sighted, so I've done lots of reds at the back of her garden, and she can't see the actual flowers, but she can see
the colour.
The colour.
Yeah.
We've tried other colours and some have not been successful, so we've done a lot of the Fire Queen. And also, my mum struggles with watering. I've got a lightweight house, but she still struggles. And I just thought, do you know what? Because the back of her garden's really sunny. I thought, these can bake away in the sun. because there is a bit of sun around and there's loads on its way, we promise.
Yes,
really is.
there's coming.
But they're easy geraniums,
Maybe.
aren't they? It is. No, it is. It is. We're going to have a really good July, August, September, and I reckon October. But these are so easy. Geraniums, I mean, the lowest maintenance. Who lives in a house like this?
This is my house. So yeah, this is what my geranium fire queens are looking like right now. And I got these as the smaller plugs a little while ago, grew them on in my windowsill in my conservatory, and now I've planted them out the front of the house here.
How good do they look, Bex?
Honestly, I adore it. I love, and with them being a bit more drought tolerant, they can cope with being in those smaller pots. I don't have to worry about making sure I go out there every single day to water them. And they're just bright and beautiful. And it's not just the flowers though. What I adore about these is that you've got those gorgeous zonal leaves on here. It's not all about the flower, it's the flower and the foliage.
To me though, what you've done there, Bex, absolutely love it.
Thank you.
I really do. And I
you.
bet every time you come home, that's such a warm, bright welcome, isn't it?
Well, if the regulars, you'll know that I've often talked about my front door, and there it is, that boring old white UPVC front door. It's just, I mean, look, it is what it is. But having those gorgeous...
I didn't even notice the door.
Exactly.
I didn't. I was like...
Exactly.
All I zoomed in on was those geraniums and the hanging baskets,
The
I have
hanging
to
baskets.
say.
I did put those in the video just so I could get a sneaky peek because they are looking so good right now. I got the picotees in there.
Yeah.
I've got some...
Got lobelia in there, I saw.
got some lobelia and... Oh my...
Let's have a look. Can we have a look again? And then
Begonias!
Yay!
Sorry, I've got the begonias in there as well, and then they're looking beautiful. And then down the bottom there, I've got those bright red geranium fire queens, the lovely lobelia. It's just beautiful, isn't
I
it?
really like that.
Love it, thank you. I just want to show off.
Do you know, that's just warmed my heart, seeing that. It has. Gorgeous.
Well, the other thing about those geranium fire queens as well is that you can overwinter these. You can get them to come back next year. Now, I did have some planted out in the borders. They made it through a couple of years, but then a harsh frost took them out. But what I'm going to do this year is I'm going to be able to easily pick those pots up, take them inside. I'm going to overwinter those and bring them out again next year. I might even try and take some cuttings and get some extra plants from them as well.
It makes sense. When I was a child, geraniums were very much seen as an indoor house plant. And I remember at my school, actually, we had big containers of geraniums inside the school hallways and things.
The smell is delicious as well, isn't it? Even... Oh, the foliage on there just smells so delightful.
Even I can smell that.
It reminds me of my nan's house. She always had them growing on the windowsill in her little conservatory, and you just walk in and that's the smell. It transports me
And
there.
I think that's a great idea. And in terms of taking cuttings, I'm not going to even say use rooting powder. You can literally snip a bit of geranium off, put it in a glass of water, just take off the lower leaves on the stem, put it in a glass of water, and you'll get roots normally within about a week.
Absolutely. And these are the garden readies as well. Look, as you can see, these are plug plants that have been grown on into larger plugs, so they're ready to go out.
And a lot of them will have buds already coming.
Yeah, we were spotting some, weren't we? There's loads with buds on there. Honestly, within probably 2 to 3 weeks, I'd say you'd get those flower stems coming up because they grow up really, really quickly. Lovely, tall, red flowers growing out the top of that foliage, which adds that extra interest as well with their...
Drought tolerant, easy to grow, and they will give you so much colour for many years if you do decide to overwinter them, as Bex was saying. And the value to it is incredible. Postage, I just want to talk about that because it's free when you spend over £40, but if you are not able to spend £40 with us, postage is capped at £6.99 per order. So the most you'll ever pay at YouGarden TV is £6.99 postage per order. So do bear that in mind. It does always make sense to buy a few things, if you can, to spend over £40. Now we have got antirrhinums coming up next.
I think it was the most popularly...
Popularly? The most popular,
Yeah, it was that. Yesterday, it was the most popular item, and I think it's going to go the same way today. It is 10 garden-ready plants. I think there's a few different options that you've got on the website as well. But the antirrhinums are just so... The snapdragons, they're just quintessential summer flowers, aren't they?
And what I love, and I've grown these many, many years, they do tend to reseed and just pop up again.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I mean, I've often grown them in my garden and the pub garden. They sort of like just seem to reappear.
Just do their own thing.
But again, a really easy one.
Really easy, and it's a nice sort of dwarf variety of the garden favourite. These should only get to about 25 centimetres by 25 centimetres. Lovely mixture of colours. You've got rich reds, you've got peaches, you've got pastel pinks, yellows, whites. I love that combination of colours. And all you really have to do is a little bit of deadheading, or cut them as cut flowers. That in essence is deadheading, and that'll help to encourage those flowers to keep coming through right the way through into autumn time. And Adam was saying yesterday, and he did this with a few of them. It always.
Did he do a bit of pinching?
He loves a bit of pinching, does Adam. You can see, look, the flower buds are starting to appear up at the top here. Now, what you can do is, probably down to there, look, is pinch that off. What you will do is delay the flowering by a week or two, a couple of weeks. But what will happen is, where you've pinched off, you'll get that extra branching. So where there's one stem now, there'll be 2 stems that come up. So it's going to give you more flowers in the long run. So it's well worth doing.
And like this one has already got lots of side shoots, but again, if you wanted to encourage them quicker, you'd do that. What I tend to do is I sort of like I pinch half of them to start with.
Yeah, and leave the other half.
Yeah.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, just so you still get some
flowers earlier. Yeah, I get it. But they are those garden ready, so there's nice large sizes. Obviously, we don't need to worry about weather and stuff now, but yeah, just get those planted out, and they can go into a multitude of places. Use them as edging your beds and borders. You could do a big pot full of these, which would be the most gorgeous display.
Do you know what I was thinking as well? They are really tolerant to lots of rain and things.
Well, them being the shorter variety as well means they're going to be even more tolerant to some of that inevitable changeable weather that we get.
Just certain things are a bit better in the rain, and they just. I mean, I live in quite an open garden in the countryside, and some days you get like wind, you get hail, you get a bit of sun, you get loads of rain, so I do look at the plants that stand up to those adverse conditions, and they're one of the best.
They are one of them, definitely.
Really nice. Right, I love verbena, and this is coming up next. Look at these. These are well on the way, aren't they?
They really are on their way. You can see all of the flowers that are on there already, and I like the fact that we've got a gorgeous mix in here. You've got some sort of single colour ones, but then like this one, I love really this one down the bottom here, where you've got a mixture. Oh, there, look. Where you've got a mixture of those colours, the paler outer going into the white, and then that darker centre in there. And they are just so super easy to grow. They're colourful. They're strong. They grow all summer long, flowering right the way from now through to September and October. And of course, this has been bred. This is the Quartz F1 series. So I know verbenas struggled a little while ago, didn't they, with like mildew and various different things. These have been bred specifically to be able to be resistant to that.
Cool. And $12.99 for 10, but the double deal's amazing, isn't it?
You're only going to pay £5 more to get 20 of those. There is a little trick on the website though. Stu's going to show it to us.
Right, so Stu, I wish you could hear Stu. Was like, no,
stop.
I need to go on what?
Yes.
Yeah, so 10 for $12.99.
Oh, hang on a minute, yeah.
So what we're doing? Well, hang on, I'm confused now. So our double up deal is saying $17.99. Oh, so we're better than the website.
So basically, our deal was more than the website. So Stu has looked at it, he sorted it, and we've beaten the deal on the website. We've got a better deal now.
$12.99 for 10, put 2 in there. 40, that is amazing.
That's brilliant.
Has that just been done then, Stu?
Stu? He's literally just done
now.
that.
It's good, isn't it?
Thank you, Stu.
Just as you were doubting him, Bex.
I know, right? I never doubt Stu.
No, we're only joking. That is amazing.
Thank you.
And I know at this time of year, because we were saying a lot of things are a little bit behind, aren't they? Because it's been a cold June so far. So if you've got gaps in your garden right now, if things haven't performed quite as well, get your garden ready bedding, get your verbena in there, and instantly you're going to have those bright colours. And they're in bud, they're in flower, they are ready to go right now, and I would definitely double up. So 2 lots for under £15 now.
So there's your 1 pack of 10 right there. They're easy, you can pop these out, and then I always save these trays because these are great for growing your little seeds and things later on. I've got such a pile of these down the side of the house by the shed. And then of course you can get another 10 of those in your double up deal. And of course you can multi-order your double up deals. You could go for 40 of them if you've got loads of borders and gaps that you need to fill.
Yeah. I'm tempted to those. I've got a few gaps.
Yeah, verbenas are great.
Yeah, love a sunny spot.
Fill them in your hanger baskets, fill them in your pots.
So let's change the graphic, Bex. Can we just do our magic? What, 3?
Oh, it's done it. Boom.
That was good, wasn't it?
See, did it without us even having to think about it.
Right, we better move on now to our begonia apricot shades. And I have got loads of these in my garden right now, and I have to say, every year I grow these.
Yeah.
You've grown for many years.
I have. I've done. I haven't got the apricot shades this year, but I've got a few other varieties of begonias. These are the ones that remind me of my lovely Nan's again. So along with the Fire Queen, she had window boxes all the way around her garden and stuff, and they were filled with begonia apricot shades every single year. And I think the reason is you've got beautiful shades of apricots and yellows and golden tones in there, peaches and things, but they're really, really easy to grow. Yeah. They deadhead themselves. They deal with all of the summer weathers. So I know we're hoping for a lovely warm summer, but if it's wet and a bit windy, begonias don't mind either.
Not at all.
This is exactly why I've planted begonias into my hanging baskets, because I know how reliable they are. Last year I had loads of petunias. They struggled. This year I'm doing begonias. They're not struggling. Yeah. They're having a wonderful time.
And I think out of all the bedding that we bring you, these are, I would definitely say, the most weather resistant, no matter what the summer brings us. And I actually, this is a true story, I did loads of the hanging baskets at the pub in these last year, and I'd lost 2 hanging baskets this year. I'm like, where are they? And they were shoved in one of the sort of like little, there's a few like little yard areas at the pub that are enclosed. 2 of them were shoved in there, stacked up on each other.
Right.
And do you know what? I mean, the begonias were all beginning to come back through. And one of the poor baskets, because it had one sat on top of it, the begonias had literally like gone to the side. But they'd survived like the worst winter, stuck in a corner. So they can sometimes come back next year. They can survive winters. You can, at the end of the year, they will form corms, so you can actually dig them up and protect them. But sometimes they do come back. They're real worries in the garden. Yeah. And I just think they are such low maintenance. It's incredible.
Very low maintenance. And even on those dull, darker days, you know, which we do get, unfortunately, during our British summers, they cloudy and grey. Actually, the colours that you've got here with these peach tones really do illuminate themselves. They brighten up those darker days.
And these can do very well in fairly shady spots as well as sun as well. I love them. They are absolute winners. And if you're someone that's maybe new to gardening and you don't feel you're that experienced, you cannot go wrong with begonias.
No, you definitely can't.
They're brilliant. So the value, the size of them, Bex, as well.
I know, and it's really huge. So many flowers already on them. Let me take one out for you quickly, and then we'll go to another
get it out. Amazing.
Look. The size of them is absolutely incredible, and you've got loads of flowers on there already. Those will romp away once you get those into your garden. Last year I did a couple of pots with begonias in, 3 pots, and it was, I've got to say, one of the top 3 things that I had in my garden.
Yeah, I remember seeing them.
So easy, just delightful, all summer long, right the way through into, you know, early part of autumn as well. They looked fantastic.
And I think you can look at those and look at the leaves, and you just know how resistant they are.
Yeah.
Really strong plants that do not easily get battered by wind and rain and hail and whatever else the summer can throw. You know, they are amazing plants, and I would recommend them to absolutely everybody. And if you double up, you get 2 lots. That's 20 plants for $17.99. Club members, you get your 10% off as well. Right, Hypericum time.
Yeah.
This is looking nice, isn't it?
It's looking absolutely fantastic. It's one of my total favourites. I adore this plant so much. It was a real popular one yesterday, and you can see why, can't you? Just looking at that one shot that we've got right there. Look at those flowers. Just look at this one here. Look at those stamens. Look at how many stamens there are poking out of that flower.
And we'll give you the details of this because you'll be amazed at the price today. I love the combination, the flowers out and then all of the buds and the berries. It's all amazing.
It all just sort of blends and works in together, doesn't it? There's one that I walk past whenever I do my dog walk, and it's a nice big one somebody's had in their garden for a while. And at the moment, it's mostly just flowers on there, but they are mesmerising. I just love those. And then when you add in all of the buds and the berries that come later on, it is one of the most magical plants.
It all happening at once. Sorry, I didn't realise it was only $9.99.
Yeah.
That's a really good price.
A third off that one. That's amazing. It's a nice compact one as well. So if you want to keep this in a pot, you totally can. It should grow to about 1 metre by 1 metre, so 3-4 feet height and spread if you plant it out into a border. If you want to keep it more compact, obviously you can prune it and trim it, or keep it in a pot in order to maintain that size. It's a really long flowering one, so if you want lots of colour and lots of interest in your garden, you know, for a long season, Hypericum Miracle Attraction, or St John's Wort, you might have heard of it as. This is definitely one. It's in flower now. You've got the buds, you've got the berries, and it will keep going right the way through into the autumn as well, September, October time. gives you that interest for ages.
It's a really easy one to grow as well.
So easy. You don't really need to do anything to it. Put it in a sunny spot. It'll cope with part shade, but put it in a nice sunny spot if you can, and just leave it to do its thing. You don't really need to do anything.
As Bex said, it will flower for 7 months of the year. It's a really, really must-have in the garden. So do you know what I'm thinking, Bex? Why haven't I got one?
I haven't got one, honestly.
No, I haven't as well.
Yeah, it's ridiculous, isn't it?
So I'm planning my fantasy garden. So you plan your fantasy garden, and I've got my list of plants that are going into that fantasy garden. This is definitely on that list. There is no way my fantasy garden is going ahead without having my Hypericum Miracle Attraction on there.
Do you know what I'm thinking? I've got an area where I've got Sambucus, which is kind of like the dark one. And that next to it would actually look really good because that's got kind of like burgundy dark leaves, and the yellow against that I think could look fantastic.
Yeah, it would look gorgeous.
And you've got sort of ready stems on the new growth as well.
There's so much interest going on there. You know, the foliage is lovely and green and verdant. You've got the buds, you've got the berries, you've got the red stems.
And don't you think the buds almost look like they've been polished?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I really like the different colours that you get with them as well. So there's golden tones and yellow tones and reds and peaches on there. And then you get these lovely dark red kind of berries on there. Like, it's so interesting.
When you look up close, there's so many different colours there.
Yeah.
Aren't they? There's loads going on.
Now, it is a deciduous plant, so it will drop its leaves, or it can be semi-evergreen in sort of milder climates. So it depends where you are in the country. You might actually keep some of the leaves on here over the winter. But either way, it doesn't matter, because when it's like this, and it stays like this for several months over the summer and into the autumn, it's totally worth putting in your garden.
And I don't know about you at home, but because the weather is all over the place, it does make me think differently about what plants I want in my garden. Like, I've got quite a lot of peonies, and this year, some of them just been smashed to pieces.
Yeah.
So I'll always have my peonies. I love them, but I am looking for a few more things that are just totally reliable.
Yeah.
And that will flower all summer long and make it easy.
You can't go wrong with this one.
You really can't.
And especially at that price as well, just £9.99. As Stu said, it doesn't need to be on my fantasy list at that price, does it?
It really doesn't.
Doesn't.
And you may have found a little place in my garden. No, I'm seriously, love that. I'm going to put it next to some Sambucus.
Gorgeous.
And at $9.99, hopefully you can afford to go for that at home as well, or $8.99 for club members. Right, apparently Bex, the chat is getting busy.
Is it? Let me grab the iPads, let me grab it. Let's have a little look.
Yeah.
Oh, let's come over here then. Right, so where did we get to?
Sexy Shaun.
Sexy Shaun, that was it. Everyone is saying good morning. Adam, good morning to you as well. Elaine, they are the set of 2 bare root standard roses. That was the picture that we showed earlier on.
Thank you, Elaine. They've done oh yeah, you bought the pair of yellow, didn't you? Remember now.
Why is this
Thank you, Elaine.
Hang on, there we go. Good morning, Adam. Shaun, with this weather, Elaine says, Shaun, with this weather, it's a cold. I have one. Came home Friday full of a cold.
Right, let me get
Just
a bit
talking
more.
about you.
Yeah, I'm going to get a bit more eucalyptus.
Get some more eucalyptus. Sniff that, you'll be fine.
Sorry,
Adam says the gunny eye cuttings stay in the vase for ages, keeping as the day they were cut. So keeping the same as the day they were cut.
They do actually, yeah.
Elaine says, Bex, it looks beautiful. Are you was that to do with my my front door? Thank you, Elaine. I'm really proud of it this year.
It looks great.
I'm really proud of it. Thank you so much. I do like showing off my garden. That's why we like getting some pictures from you, so you can show off your gardens as well. Apparently there are some emails, so we'll have a little look in a second.
Now, I mean, I've done my mum's back garden with lots of the geraniums, but now I'm thinking a little pot in the front garden by her door, so you've inspired me.
Yeah, totally. Every time I come home, I stand and have a little 30 seconds just looking at those.
That's great, but this is what it's all about, sharing, isn't it?
But
keep those orders coming in. Don't forget, your free gift today is your blooming fast, which is
here.
Down here. That will make 100 litres of our best-selling plant food. I don't know better plant food than our blooming fast. And I'll be honest, sometimes feeding your plants, you think, oh, I'm a bit tired now, can't be bothered. But oh my word, for that 5 or 10 minutes of feeding, it makes a massive, massive difference.
It does.
And I never understand why anybody buys ready-mixed plant food. There's a big brand out there, you can see it in all the supermarkets. 1 litre pot of ready-made plant food, you can be paying £7, £8 for it, and that will actually make 100 litres. You just put a little spoonful in your watering can, and then just feed away. And that pretty much is for every plant in your garden, even house plants.
Yeah, you can use it as a foliar feed as well, so you can put it on the foliage and it'll help to feed them. It's packed with all those trace elements. It's got all your NPK, which you need, but it's got those trace elements in there which are really vital to your plant's health.
And what I can honestly say is that even at $4.99, that is amazing value.
It really is.
It really is, but it's free with every single order today. Just use the code YGTV2424. A nice easy one today. Right.
Oleanders!
I mean, these are just beautiful,
aren't they?
Is it still 2 for 9? It is 2 for 19.99.
On the red one, yeah, absolutely. We've got the double up deal.
So many of you have been sending us messages and pictures of your oleanders, and these are the highest quality we think we've ever seen at the YouGarden nursery. Grown by a premium top breeder in Sicily. We believe they're the best in the world, a family business. There's even a wait list, isn't there?
There is. I believe it's like 10 years or something or other.
To be supplied by our breeder and grower. And what you'll notice, look, multi-stemmed.
Yeah. Most of them have got 9 stems on, which I think that one has. Yeah, there's 9 stems. You can see there's foliage right down at the bottom as well. These are genuinely the most healthy oleanders. They are raring to grow in your gardens. You saw the root structure on there. They've been growing in those pots for a while, so they're really nicely established, and they will give you gorgeous, gorgeous flowers all the way through the summer months, right the way through to autumn. And of course, they're evergreen as well, so you always have something to look at with this one.
And if you double up, it works out £10 an oleander.
I know, that's brilliant, isn't it?
So put 2 in there. Or if you want to go for 1, it's £14.99. And what I can honestly say with oleanders, they are so low maintenance. You know, when they're established, they are very drought tolerant. We say they thrive on neglect.
Yeah,
they're not a plant that constantly needs fussing and tending to. And there are certain plants in our garden that are like that. And you don't mind giving a bit of fuss. But you do need those ones that you can just kind of let them do their own thing, and these will. And even if you go on holiday for a few weeks, I mean, you know, I've had oleanders before and not watered them for 2-3 weeks, and they've been absolutely fine.
Yeah, once they get established, they're really very drought tolerant. Of course, they grow freely across the Mediterranean, which is where they come from. People aren't tending those when they're growing freely along the roadside and stuff, and they're in those lovely hot countries. These work beautifully well in our UK climates too.
And hardy, we say, to -5. So if it does get cold on that, just particularly if they're in a pot, just move them to a more sheltered position. But even when they get big, I mean, my friend's got one, and he's got an outside thermometer, and his garden got down to, I think it was -8.
Wow, okay.
And I'll be honest, the top of his oleander went black and died, but he chopped it off and he got loads of new growth from the bottom. So they are really, really, say, when established, really hardy in the UK, but we say to -5. Apparently there's more in the group chat, Bex.
Oh my word.
Yes.
Important message.
Important message.
An important message.
Ooh.
Here you go. Anne, I think.
Anne. Good morning, Shaun and Bex.
Good morning, Anne.
Good morning, Anne. I bought 2 red oleander yesterday with hardy geraniums and the Regila. Have been waiting for the offer of the pink oleanders. Are they still not available? And we have got good news, apparently.
We've got good news. Here is the website. Look, we've got 1 each of the pink and the red in our baskets. They're £30 each. We don't want that, do we? I'm sure we can do better than that.
Let's put in our code, YGTV2424, $14.99 each.
Lovely. So if we add 1 more of each of them, they come down to £10 each.
So, and that offer's just been, I think that's just been sorted, hasn't it?
I think it has, yeah, indeed.
Yeah.
So you can just go for 1 if you want to. Of course, we've still got an offer if you just want to go for 1. They're normally £29.99, they are half price. But if you double up and you go for 2 of those, you'll get them for £10 each.
Well, Anne said, oh wow, I'll take a look, thanks. So yeah, Anne, yeah, take advantage of those. Got some lovely pots to go with them as well. These are, I adore these. These are the Lavelle planters in the ebony grey, and they are on offer as well. So it actually works out $14.98 for pair, $7.50 each. But if you double up, you actually get 2 pairs, 4 pots for $19.98. So that is literally £5 each. So if you want to add those to your order, anyone buying the oleanders, then you are going to get those pots for £5 each if you go for 2 pairs. But always use our code, of course, YGTV2424. And your free gift, I know, Anne, you ordered your red ones yesterday, but don't forget, if you're ordering the pink ones today, you'll get another free gift, which is our Blooming Fast, which is our brilliant premium fertiliser, really high in your NPK. So that's your nitrogen, your phosphorus, your potassium, all the trace elements and minerals. So it's a full support system to make sure your plants have got got healthy roots, healthy shoots, and lots of flowers as well. So it really basically covers every part of the plant in terms of its growth and development. And actually, say, can be used on pretty much everything. I mean, the only thing I wouldn't use it on, I wouldn't waste it on my lawn, but pretty much anything else would be totally suitable. Now we're just going to try out the Lavelle planters for the oleanders. I think that really works, Bex, don't you?
I love them.
I think that's great.
I think these are beautiful pots. I think they're really gorgeously designed. They look like some kind of carved stone, don't they? But of course they are plastic. They're UV stabilised. They're frost resistant. Designed to last you for many years. Got the drainage holes in the bottom there as well. And I think that they work in all garden schemes.
I agree. So my mum's got a country cottage garden. They'd look great, but actually I've got a really contemporary area in my garden, and they'd look fantastic there. I think they're just really classy, those.
Yeah,
Don't you?
yeah, I really do. I think they're beautifully designed. They, as you
They're
say,
like
very
you, Bex,
kind of
very
high.
classy.
Thank you. Dead classy, that, aren't they? They're really, really classy. They've got the drainage holes. They've got the extra channels down the side for, you know, if it's really wet, the water can run away. And you know, they're nice and stable. Yeah. If you know, bash them and drop them, they're not going to crack and break like stone and things would. They're not going to leach the moisture out of the compost and the soil because they're made of plastic. So it helps with your watering as well. And I like the size. Yeah. I think it's a really good size. It's a, you know, your manageable, medium-sized pot. If you want to change your displays over, I often say this about the perrenials as well. If you want to change your displays regularly, it's not going to cost you too much to do that every time.
They're £5 if you go for 2 pairs.
Love
They're
them.
Amazing value. So yes, don't forget, if you want to go for those, add them to your order. But I think the grey with the red and the pink works beautifully with those oleanders. I think, to me, that's perfect.
Well, do you know,
if you sold that, so that's cost. Hang on, let me do the maths here, Bex. £15 if you're going for the multi-orders and the deals. If you sold that in a garden centre.
Those Lavelle planters work for so many.
Oh, I love it with
many different things. Honestly, you could put your eucalyptus standard in there. There are so many things that these would work with.
I tell you what, the geraniums as well. Yeah,
the begonias, your fire queens in there. There's so many things you could plant in these pots. I love them. I think they're great.
Well, don't forget, if you do order anything from the show, always use our offer code, which is YGTV2424, and that will unlock all the different promotions and give you your free Blooming Fast fertiliser, which is a brilliant, freebie, and will make 100 litres of premium plant food.
Nothing else. Oh, Adam's emails. Okay, we're coming to the plants in the middles.
Are you adding S's to everything?
I don't know what I'm doing today. I can't see pictures. Oh, no, I can. It's just popping up now. So, Adam, my brother in clay soil, right? Oh, wow. Okay, so
right, here we go.
He's got Fatsia planted in his garden, and wow, look how lush and tropical that area of garden looks. There it is. Look.
There's a Fatsia at the bottom.
Look how beautiful that is.
That's so green. He's got loads going on there.
Isn't it? I think there's another. Is there another picture?
That's beautiful.
Oh, wow.
Wow. So he's got his rhododendron, he's got his aces there.
Yeah, is that the eucalyptus over there?
Yeah, that's the eucalyptus just at the back. Do you know what? I love the fact that is all foliage, and it just really gives you an idea of how good that foliage can be.
I love how lush it is.
That's lush.
I know we're getting into the summer months, and we are looking at. Oh, sorry, Stu. There's another picture. Oh, there's several pictures. We are looking at a lot of flowers and things, but this garden does show you how amazing foliage is, doesn't it? Look at the contrast. You've got lots of greens going on in there, but different shades, different shapes of leaves. It really does stand out. I love it.
And the flax looks really good at the
Look
front
at that.
There you go.
So that's why we love Fatsia. Look at that.
And I do think the Fatsia does, for some reason, it does seem to really lend itself to corners.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
I think it's the way it grows and the way it spreads. That's probably why.
That's where mine was in my last garden in the corner, and it just filled it beautifully.
Looking good, Adam. Yeah, very, very nice. So he's got the eucalyptus, he's got the Fatsia, and we've got both of those for you here at YGTV. Looking good.
Keep those pictures and comments coming in. We absolutely love it. Now, if you do want to go for the Fatsia today, or I know it's a castor oil plant, $14.99. The club price is $13.49. If you're not a club member, you can actually join today.
You can.
Very easy. It's £5 for the entire year on auto renewal. You can cancel at the end of 12 months should you wish, and that will give you an instant 10% off your order today when it comes to your plants, your pots. So here's the two offers. Normally £20, by the way, that's what it was, but £5 on auto renewal, or £10 for just a one-off year membership. And what our discount will give you is 10% off every plant and accessory order. So that could save you hundreds of pounds over the year. You probably know what you spent on and saved already. 5% off outdoor living and gifts orders as well. That can include garden machinery, things like that. You'll also receive £20 of YouGarden vouchers that you can use throughout the year. You can use one of those every 3 months. That's almost like getting £20 cash back, and exclusive offers, competitions and expert advice as well. And you can actually join right now and save on your very first order. The best one to go for, most people go for auto renewal because it's £5 cheaper, and that price will be held for life. So we will only ever charge you £5 a year.
Yeah, as long as you don't let that membership lapse, it'll only ever be £5. It's not like those phone contracts where they charge you £5 now and then £50 next year.
Yeah.
We're not doing that with you.
Or like your car insurance when you get it really good for the first year. It's like, hang on, why has it got to pay £100? No, they've auto renewed it and didn't stop them. No.
It's not like that, I promise.
It's not like that, thank goodness. So let's just show you what that difference would mean to a basket. So we've put together a basket, we put in the double deal on the oleanders, we're putting the Lavelle planter pairs as well, we've got our free gift, but it does say there, save a further £9 by becoming a YouGarden
Yeah, so you're
member.
making money on the first order in this occasion. You know, it's cost you £5, but you're up £4 basically with that one order. And then every time you place an order for the next 12 months, it's 10% discount. That's where this club really does make a difference. If you think about how many orders you place for your garden over this period of 12 months, you're soon going to be quids in, aren't you? I know you are, Shaun, aren't you?
Yeah, sorry, I'm just confused. Why have I saved so much money?
I reckon it's on the well, it's on all of it. The oleanders normally are £30 each. You've got 4 of them in there.
So that's a lot of money to save.
It's a lot of money to save. A lot of money to save.
Yeah.
We're going to save you a little bit more now because we've got the Lucky Dip perennial plant collection, which is a buy one, get one free, which means ultimately you're going to get 18 9-centimetre pots of some of the most fantastic perennial plants for your garden. We've got gaillardias, we've got salvias, we've got geums in there, we've got all sorts.
Yeah, I can see some hollyhocks as well, some echinacea. Now, the value is ridiculous.
It is.
So it's a buy one, get one free. It should be called a buy 9, get 9 free because you're going to get 18 plants for £17.99 if you're club member. That works out £1 a plant. And with perennials, I mean, the value alone with a perennial, the fact that it comes back every single year and flowers, you know, most of these will flower. If you look at the combination there, we're probably going to get colour from May all the way through to October.
Yeah.
Every year.
Every single year. This is the beautiful thing here because these are perennial plants. They are tough, they're hardy, they're resilient. They're going to give you a mixture of shapes, colours, sizes, not only from the flowers that you get, but also from the different types of foliage that are in there as well. Honestly, it's a really clever collection.
I'm just going to go for this salvia just here.
Yep.
Look at the size of that.
I love the salvia at the moment. Salvia's looking gorgeous at the minute, isn't it?
But I mean, that for club members is £1.
Yeah.
£1.
So it is a lucky dip, but that's going to be so exciting, isn't it? When you get your box home and you're getting 18 of these plants. They're all labelled, so you'll know exactly what you're going to get as well, by the way. It's not like it's a complete surprise. You've just got to work it out.
I don't want to knock all this over.
They will have the labels on. And then you can start going through them and working out where you're going to put them in your garden. I think this is great for a few different types of people. If you've got an empty garden, you know, you've just moved into maybe a new build house, there's nothing in the borders at all, get this. Fill those gaps and fill those borders with this collection. Or if you've got a nicely established garden, we've all got a gap somewhere, haven't we? We've all got something that died this year or, you know, isn't big enough yet or whatever. Fill it with these plants.
I love summer bedding, but some of my old gardens, I'd just do all summer and winter bedding. I had very few perennials. And now I still love them summer bedding, but perennials, that come back year after year, it's going to save you so much money, isn't it?
So much, yeah.
It really is. And a lot of these perennials as well, as they get bigger, you can divide them, you can split them and spread them around your garden. But it's going to be a wonderful selection. And Bex and I were just, we were saying earlier, we love the excitement of the lucky dip.
I love that.
When that big box arrives,
Yeah.
it's like, oh, I wonder what's in there.
Well, if you think about the excitement when you know what's coming.
That's true,
So
yeah.
even when you know what's in the box, you're still really excited to open that box,
Yeah.
aren't you? But then if you think, I know this order's coming, but I don't know what's in it, it's going to be even better.
Lots of us get home deliveries now, don't we, from various websites and companies. Yesterday I had a spare vacuum part arrive, but there was no excitement. Do you know what I mean?
Oh yeah, I've got that.
It was like a new head that had broken for the vacuum. I wasn't excited, but when plants arrive, yes. It's super exciting.
Always.
And that is going to be really amazing. And the fact that, do you know what, Bex? If they were plug plants, I'd still think that was good value. Wouldn't you?
Yeah.
You know, plug plants that you have got to grow
Yeah,
on.
£1 each, great.
Yeah.
But these are 9cm pots, established plants. And a really,
I know.
not a lazy selection either. It's not like there's any duds in there. They are all excellent plants, all the ones that we can show you. I can't guarantee you're going to get 18 individual, separate, different plants.
No.
You might get a couple of duplicates. But look, for example, the salvias that you can see in the middle there, those purple flowers, you've got 2 different types there potentially. They're just going to be amazing, honestly. And as Shaun said, long flowering season that you'll get from that variety in there.
And all winter hardy. They're all perennials that come back every single year. It is a lucky dip, brilliant value, one of the best we've ever done here on YouGarden TV. Right, we've still got loads to come. We have got some gorgeous clematis, got some winter hardy ferns as well.
We've got a gerbera.
Gerbers are nice.
Which is another buy one get one free deal where you'll get 3, but you'll get 3 free.
And they're hardy ones.
And they're hardy.
So let's remind you of what we've seen so far, and then we're going to show you some more brand new items on YouGarden TV this morning. So the Fatsia, loads and loads of you I know love our Fatsia. These are the flowers, by the way, that you get in the winter time, which are quite unusual. Just give you that extra bit of winter interest. But this is an evergreen plant, very easy to grow. Award of Garden Merit, for absolutely stunning. And it will grow fairly quickly. So if you've got a big gap, you're thinking, what can I put in it? I mean, Bex was saying she thinks this looks a bit tropical, and I totally agree. But they are winter hardy, easy to grow, fully evergreen, and will give you pleasure for many decades to come. I adore them, and at $13.49 for club members, you're getting a really well-established plant there. They will grow well in pots. My mum's got one in a pot. I mean, it's kind of restricted the growth a bit, but it looks absolutely gorgeous. So that's the Fatsia japonica. I know it's a castor oil plant in the 17cm pot. 510428 is your item number. Now, eucalyptus, so many of you have been very complimentary about our eucalyptus gunnii. So this one, I've quite a few things to say about it. It's a smaller variety, so the leaves are a lot more compact on this one. It's also really hardy, so down to about -20 actually, so really fine for pretty much all of the country. But this has been grown as a standard. So you've got the nice tall stem there, so up to 100 centimetres tall, and then you've got all of that lovely foliage. And the foliage makes great displays. If you're putting together cut flower displays, eucalyptus really enhances those beautifully. The leaves smell great. If you've got a bit of a bunged up nose, just smelling those leaves can be just so, I think, refreshing. I've done it this morning because my nose is a little bit runny this morning. And very easy to grow. Fully evergreen again, so it's going to look good all year round. And I think that one really lends itself to a pot as well. It's absolutely superb. So if you think, oh, I love a eucalyptus, but I don't have the space, that is definitely one to go for. And then we saw Bex's lovely pictures of the geranium Fire Queen. I've put these in my mum's garden this year. And I mean, they're just, to me, they are the perfect geranium. And I do think the Fire Queen, and you get 10 garden-ready plants, they do look good on mass. I mean, to me, that really works what Bex has done. She's got 5 of our small pots either side, 10 plants, all in flower right now with the zonal leaves. You've got those great-looking leaves, you've got the great fragrance as well. But what a bright welcome to that dull old door, Bex, that she hates. There's nothing wrong with front door, but the whole entrance looks loads better with those geraniums, I've got to admit. £8.99 for 10 garden mini plants, or £8.99, or £8.09 I should say, if you are a club member as well. 410064. Then we brought you the antirrhinums. These have been really, really popular. And same value, £8.99 for 10. I know them as the Snapdragon. I love them. This is a lovely mix as well in terms of colours. But they're a really good one. Again, they're easy. They're pretty weather resistant. They keep flowering all summer long. Just keep taking off the dead stems and they were going to keep flowering and flowering. And I've often found, and it may be me, but I've often found that mine reseed and seem to pop up everywhere the next year as well. But beautiful plants, garden ready, all the work's been done for you, and just £8.99, 410048 for the antirrhinum mini butterflies mix. And then we've got a new lower price on our verbena quartz mix. This is a gorgeous mix, isn't it? I mean, I love the fact that so many of the flowers have got different coloured centres. It just makes them a lot more interesting. Verbenas like the sun. They're quite a compact variety of these. Really nice, strong growth, strong leaves. And they will flower their socks off all summer long and give you these amazing displays of beautiful, beautiful colour. Aren't they gorgeous? That is a really nice mix, and I tell you what, the double up deal is incredible. So for anyone that's thinking, oh, my garden looks a bit dull, you've got gaps, maybe some of the bedding that you grew wasn't that successful, I just think putting in those bright coloured verbena amongst other plants, they're going to look absolutely amazing. And they do look great en masse as well, like we've got there. 410076 at £12.99. And then if I was to say, buy one bedding plant today, I'm going to say apricot shade. Totally, totally, totally. Well, not one, buy 10. In fact, no, double up, buy 20 at £17.99. So why are these so good? They are absolutely foolproof. You do not have to know anything about gardening to have success with these. They are incredibly weather tolerant. So we know what the weather's like nowadays, and it's very unpredictable. Sometimes you get 4 seasons in a day. You get rain, you get hail, you get sun, you get wind. Doesn't matter with begonias. They will really stand proud in all weather conditions. They will flower in sunshine and shade. I've actually put mine in fairly deep shade, not full shade, but fairly shady corners. You can deadhead, but to be honest, when the flowers go over, they just fall off, and then they just keep coming back and being replaced by more flowers, more buds all summer long. And although when the frosts come, they will die down and go black. You may think that's it. Sometimes they do survive a winter and come back. And you can, at the end of the year, if you want to dig them up and they'll form a small corn, like a little mini bulb almost, you can actually do that, protect them over the winter in a greenhouse or shed, and then grow them again next year. Absolutely amazing plants and lovely colours in the apricot shades, 410050. And then we also brought you that gorgeous Hypericum, St John's wort, as it's often termed. It's a big one, this one. It comes in a 2-litre pot. And again, this is a really hard worker. It will flower all through the summer. You often get that lovely combination of different coloured buds coming out and the gorgeous flowers with the stamens. And you get the berries, of course, as well. Very easy to grow. It doesn't grow too big, so 1 metre by metre, maybe a little bit more, but it will just give you so much gorgeous colour and interest all summer long, year after year. I'm going to get that one, so I've got some sambucas, and I just think the yellow against the burgundy could look absolutely fantastic. And will tolerate a little bit of shade, that one as well. 510890. And you've gone crazy for our oleander deals, and I'm not surprised at all, because we are doing a double up deal. Now, these are one of the most beautiful Mediterranean plants. You'll see them growing freely in Spain and Italy. I've seen them in America, but they are a great one to grow in the UK. They are hardy to -5. I think sometimes a little bit more when they're fully established. They are drought tolerant when they're fully established. All they really need is a really, really sunny spot. So bright sunshine is where they will be happy. Don't put them in part shade. They'll just go a bit leggy and they'll flower less. So full sunshine and the most amazing flowers. Every stem should produce an abundance of flowers. And if you keep just taking it, once the flowers go over, just chop the end of the stem off, and then new stems, new flowers will appear. That was our nursery last week, and I can honestly say the quality of our oleanders this year have been amazing. And we've actually had I think more than 10,000 came across in the last delivery from the Mediterranean. They've been expertly grown for us. Don't forget, you cannot eat oleanders, so do not eat any part of them. Don't let your pets eat any part of them either, but enjoy them. And yeah, if you want to create the Mediterranean in the UK, that is one of the best plants to do it. Fully evergreen as well, so they will keep the leaves during the winter. And I mean, in their natural environment, they'll grow 3 metres, maybe even taller. Normally in the UK, they'll go to about 1.5 metres, 2 metres, and obviously you can contain them in a pot as well. 688057. Now, we've done the offer on the red, but we also now, this is our nursery, by the way, rows and rows of these oleanders. We are now extending that offer to the pink. So the double up deal on the pink is 2 for £19.99. £10 each, £9 if you're club member. And I can honestly say you very rarely see oleanders in the garden centres. It's not an easy plant to get into the UK, but we work with the top breeders in the Mediterranean, in Sicily, and that gives us access to these incredible plants. And next time you're on holiday in the Med, do check out the oleanders, 680027. Then we brought you the incredibly priced Lucky Dip. I mean, this is just incredible. You will get a selection of some of our finest perennials. You will get things like maybe hollyhocks, echinacea. You may get things like geums in there. You may get foxgloves, but they'll all be tried and tested. They'll all be perennials that will come back every single year. You might get things like the Verbena bonariensis in there, all sorts. It's an amazing mix. And it works out, because it's a buy 9, get 9 free. So it works out less than £20 for 18 plants. In fact, club members, it's £1 a plant. And they are not plug plants, they are in 9 centimetre pots. I honestly don't know how we do that one. And don't be put off by the quantity. You will find space, and if you can't find space, then just share them with a friend or a neighbour. But amazing, you see some hoika in there as well, all sorts in that mixed collection, but incredible value. They are not plug plants, they are established perennials in 9 centimetre pots. I think that one is going to absolutely fly today. YGTV2424 is the code to use to get your promotions and discounts. Do you know, if you're just going for that perennial collection, whoa, that was quick. I can't move as quick as that camera, Stu. God! I'm in my 30s now.
You wish. You wish you were.
You said I look very fresh this morning.
You do look very fresh.
Yeah.
Oh, you've done something. You look good.
Yeah, I've had some sleep. To be honest, I've had lots of good news this week, Sam. Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
And I finished planting up the pub garden.
Oh, that's a weight off your mind, isn't it? Right.
I had to do it in the rain on Monday. Seriously, all day. It was warm, but I was soaking. But then, just as I finished planting up, 5 o'clock, the sun came out.
So you could sit and have a beer in the garden.
I did. It's great.
Sounds good.
Yeah. So yeah, it all worked out fine. Anyway, just thinking those perennials, were you extra free gift? I mean, it works out even less.
Yeah, I know.
The free gift's worth a £5. That is ridiculous value.
Yeah.
It really is. Right. Pre-planted hanging baskets.
Talking about
next.
ridiculous value.
These are lovely, aren't
Aren't they gorgeous? I love the colour mix that we've got going on in here. Petunias are nice and easy, aren't they? They definitely scream hanging basket to you when you see petunias.
Yeah, I agree.
They do, don't they?
Well, when you go to like shopping malls and things,
yeah, it's always
with outdoor areas, always petunias. Yeah.
Yeah, and do you know I love deadheading petunias as well. It's one of my favourite jobs to do.
You do like some weird stuff. Bex loves weeding.
I love weeding. Do you know, so I've got block paving out the front, you'll have seen in that video, and there's loads of little weeds and stuff growing through the cracks. That's another job I love doing. Get my little scraper tool, go out there, scrape it all out.
I'll never forget arriving at your house. I think it was last year now, when you were like washing the car, and you were like so loving washing the car. I was like...
Some jobs just, you know...
I'm not like that.
I love it.
I don't mind. Actually, no, weeding I do quite like. I like the satisfaction.
Yeah, because when you
afterwards.
look back afterwards and you go, look, I did that, and it looks
Yeah.
really neat and tidy. It's the
Yeah.
same when I'm deadheading the petunia baskets. It's the sort of thing I like going out with my cup of coffee in the morning, coffee in one hand, a little bit of deadheading with the other. It's a great job to do.
Yeah, and again, it is rewarding because you know if you take off all the dead flowers, there's loads
look,
more
there's
to
one
come. Go on, Bex.
Deadhead.
But look at the colour mix here. All the hard work has been done. Now you're saving £15 on this.
Another one there.
So it's a petunia wave mix, pre-planted. We've got them as hanging baskets, but the actual hooks do unclip. So if you want to use them as pots and have them as centerpieces on your garden furniture tables, on steps in your garden, things like that, you can certainly do that. Do you know, I would, if you've got any sort of birthdays coming up and you know your best friend loves flowers, don't buy flowers, just get them a couple hanging baskets. So much better.
Well, these are already done for you. You can reuse the baskets, obviously, next year, so you can then plant up your own ones next year. But it's just taken all the hard work out of it. It's a beautiful selection of colours that you've got going on there, and this is the worst they're going to look, and they look pretty good right now, don't
there's
they?
another one that needs dead.
Yeah, get it off.
Yeah.
So these are just going to keep spreading, keep looking amazing. You can see the tub right now, you can see the basket, but obviously as these trail and tumble over the edges, you're just going to get a ball of colour and you won't even be able to see that basket,
now, there's
as we move through
only
the season.
a few little things you need to do to get maximum effect from these. Keep it well watered. Because even when it rains, and I know, obviously we get quite a lot of rain nowadays, but sometimes when you've got plants so densely packed in like that...
Yeah, the rain can't get in,
No,
can it? Yeah,
no.
You're right.
You sometimes, it's rain today, I don't need to water, you'd be surprised.
Yeah.
Also, keep your eye, when it's a windy day, things can dry out very quickly. I was shocked this morning, I went walked around my garden, I was at work yesterday at QBC, and then I walked on my garden this morning, and so many things in pots were bone dry, so it must have been really windy yesterday. And feed weekly. You get your free food, there's no excuse, is it, Bex?
No excuse.
No excuse.
I did put some bags over here. Absolutely no excuse. And petunias are hungry feeders. There's certain plants, all right, you could get away with not feeding them. Petunias, they really want to be fed. They're like me. They want food.
Yeah,
Feed me, Seymour.
I'm feeling hungry now.
Yeah, I am.
But yeah, do all of that and do constantly deadhead. And what you'll find, if you ever notice seed pods forming, just take them off, obviously, unless it's the end of the season, you want to keep the seeds to grow next year, but just keep taking them off. And just a little tip, sometimes, if my petunias have gone a little bit leggy, I have actually chopped them back sort of like 3/4 of the way through summer and then got lots of nice new growth. So if any does for some reason go a little bit leggy, then I sometimes have trimmed back and got more side shoots and things like that. My mum, do you know my mum, bless her, right? So my mum was talking about deadheading, and my mum's got macular degeneration in her eyes, so unless it's a bright sunny day, she struggles a bit, and sometimes, bless her, she says, well, I reach for the dead one, I end up chopping off the good one. Bless her.
It doesn't matter, it'll still do the same job. It'll still
Me and my mum, we have to laugh about these things.
Yeah, it's fine.
You'd cry. But yeah, those are the only golden rules, and then we'll just give you so much pleasure all summer long. Absolutely gorgeous, and really well established. Have you finished, Bex?
No. Love it, love it, love this job. It's one of my favourite jobs. Anyway, so I'll stop.
But yeah, great price. I mean, when you look at the discount price, and I know most of you are club members, $11.24 for one of these baskets.
Yeah, and when you break it down to the cost of the basket, the compost that's been put in, the plants that have been put in, delivered direct to your door, all the hard work taken out of it, that really is amazing value, isn't it?
And you get £5 worth of free gift as well. So take that off, because it is worth £5, so it's going to make 100 litres of premium plant food. I mean, we sell this every single day. You set the value of that off, and you get in the basket for, what, about £8?
I was going to let you do the
£8 each. No.
You're the maths guy, come on.
$8.50.
There you go.
Yeah.
That's really good, isn't it?
It's not. I think it's
Are you doing the
$8.70.
club
I think
price
it's
or the normal price?
$8.75 actually per basket. It works out.
Club price or normal price?
Club price.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyway, it's great value, and that's the
Yeah.
point we're making.
Yeah. I'm normally good at maths.
Just make sure you use the code to get that discount, and you won't get the free
shouldn't
gift.
doubt myself here.
There you go.
Yes, for club members, it works out $8.75 a basket, because that's worth a £5.
There you go.
So, let's round about there.
Round about there. Should we move on?
Oh.
Let's move on to the salix, shall we? This is the flamingo bush that we've got for you here. Now, this is another one that I've got on the list. I've already got
hang on. What's Stu saying? Hang on, sorry.
I don't know. He's saying something
Is my
about
maths wrong on that one then?
Yeah, if you're going to do it at club price, you've got to do it all at club price, which means that that is worth £4.50 because you'd take 50p off that. That's what he's saying. So you'd have to take £4.50 off, which then changes what your club price is.
Oh, God.
Stu is a stickler for the detail, and that is a good thing when you've got the level of detail he's got to do.
It's true, actually,
he has to be a stickler for the detail.
I should have just made it simple because they're great value.
They're great.
Shouldn't I? But they are, aren't they? Seriously.
They are.
Yeah. Right, we're going to move on now, yes. To this gorgeous salix. We've both got these, haven't we?
Yeah, so Salix flamingo, this is the willow bush. Now, I've got one in my garden that was there before I moved in. If there hadn't been one, I would have planted one. Now, mine's, I don't know if it started life as a standard, but it is now, and it's really beautiful. It's gorgeous and tall, and I adore it because every single spring, what happens is that the leaves form on here, and they kind of, it's like a firework, isn't it? Because it's got this lovely upright sort of outwards growth, and it's like a beautiful sort of exploding firework of gorgeous foliage. The new stuff comes through.
Look at this.
Delightful shades of pinks and sort of flamingo pink colour and lighter pink colours.
And I can always see creams in there as
well.
well.
Yeah, well then you also get those creams and the greens and the variegation on there as well. It is a fabulous specimen plant for your garden. But what I love more than anything is, again, this is one that really does thrive mostly on neglect. Drought tolerant, not one you have to mollycoddle with the watering. And when it comes to pruning, I pretty much do mine just once a year. Now, you can choose to do that in autumn if you like, but actually it's quite nice to leave it over winter because you get some, even though it's deciduous and it drops its leaves, you get some interest over the winter. And then if you prune it sort of, early spring, it will just then explode into life again. So low maintenance, absolutely beautiful and super easy to look after. Winter hardy as well.
The only thing I will say with mine, it once, and I think it was the year before last when we had that really hot day, you know, when it was like 40 degrees nearly. Some of the leaves of mine, because mine's in a pot and it's a standard as well, they did get a little bit...
Yeah, but I think it has to be like baking hot.
It was like...
Normal summers, absolutely fine.
But that 1 year, it didn't, I mean, it still grew back.
Yeah, I think if that happens, you can prune it at that point, cut off any of the damaged stuff, and actually it'll grow again.
That's what I did. But since then, I've just got mine like it's a sunny spot, but I've just moved out of that full afternoon sun. Because I love it. And the foliage looks absolutely beautiful. I know when my mum used to live there, one of her neighbours had actually sculpted one of these into a big ball, and it looked incredible.
Yeah.
It was like a dome of pink and cream and green.
I think this would work really nice as kind of a hedging plant as well. You know, if you had multiples of them, you could create a gorgeous sort of hedge from it too.
I've never seen that.
No, I haven't, but I think it could work.
Yeah.
It's not fussy about soil types, so it's not like you need to have a particular, type of soil. It grows beautifully in my heavy clay soil that I've got. So it's just an unfussy. It's not a diva, super low maintenance, but it is really, really rewarding. And of course, fully winter hardy, so has our lifetime guarantee. You'll never need to use that guarantee on this one, I don't think. I'm really into kind of pink foliage. I really like. I like a bit of pink foliage in my borders now, and that it is just beautiful. And again, really good value. And you pair it with the right things, it stands out even more. You know, I was just thinking, could you put it near a fatsia? I think that might work quite nicely. That lovely, luscious, big green leaves of the fatsia, and then the smaller pinks of this. Yeah, I think that might contrast really nicely. But like, we've got a chocolate hydrangea coming up. Oh yeah, that's coming. I mean. I'm just going to bring it across just to I mean, like, this just shows how interesting you can be in your gardens when you get different coloured foliage. Yeah, lovely. And look how that stands out. Yeah, I like that. I mean, look at that. Yeah, because you're kind of picking up the pink tones with the kind of burgundies and chocolates in there. I mean, obviously this is going to go a lot bigger, but it just gives you an idea how mixing foliage in your garden. Well, I don't know, that can get quite big as well. I mean, your salix, that can get to 2.5 metres if you let it. So actually, this at the back, because that gets about 4 metres. Can get to 4 if you let it. That in front of it. 2.5 metres. Yeah, and then we could have some nice grasses, couldn't we? Yeah. I like the idea of your fancy being there. But anyway, yeah,
coloured foliage can look so good, can't it?
Yeah, really, really nice. And of course, we have taken a bit of discount off there for you. It's £10.99 or £9.89. Is that right? Yes,
Yeah.
it will be. £9.89 if you are in the club. And that will last you for so many years. Honestly, that is a long-lived perennial.
Right. Keep those comments coming, by the way. It's lovely to be with you. Got some more emails, apparently.
We'll have a little look in a bit.
But we are going to move on to our hardy fern collection. We both love ferns, don't we?
Love ferns, yeah. I think they're really valuable. So I love ferns anyway because I think they feel kind of... Oh, hang on. We've got a question on the salix. We're coming back. Is it deciduous? Yes, it is deciduous. It will drop its leaves. And it comes back every single year, though, and it's really robust and very easy. That was Grimmy that asked that.
Yes.
And
right.
who? Oh, carry on ferns.
Yeah, so this is our hardy fern collection.
Yeah, so
most of these are evergreen, actually.
Most of these are evergreen, absolutely, yeah. And I love ferns because I always feel like they're a bit Jurassic. You know, you feel like you're walking with the dinosaurs. I think they give you that lovely feeling when you see them. But what I love about them more than anything is that they fill those gaps. Excuse me, the shady gaps, the ones that are a struggle, that you can't plant a lot of things in, your ferns can go in there and they will grow beautifully in there.
And I think with the weather as it's been fairly warm through the winter, but it's been wet. So there's a lot of weeds around.
Yeah.
An awful lot of weeds. And I always think where there's a gap, you're going to get a weed. And as you said, Bex, ferns are brilliant at filling those gaps. They do tolerate the shadiest of spots. The foliage is amazing. You've got a lovely collection here, lots of different types of foliage, lots of different sizes of ferns. So some more back of the border, some more front of the border. But they just had so much beautiful interest, and they are so easy to grow. Just make sure ferns like it nice and moist. They do well in a nice shady spot. Just take off any of the damaged fronds and leaves, and they'll just come back every single year. But most of these are actually evergreen. The odd one may die down a little bit in the winter, but most of them are actually evergreen in the collection.
And the thing is, you've got all the different sort of colours in there as well. You know, some really lush green, but then some silvery toned ones, some burgundy toned ones. They're all going to grow to slightly different shapes and sizes as well. The majority, I think 5 of them have the Royal Horticultural Society Award of Garden Merit, if not all 6 of them. So these are total proven performers. They're all winter hardy, mostly evergreen as well, so giving you that colour all the way through the season. They've got some really interesting names as well. There's the Japanese painted fern, the copper shield fern, the Korean rock fern, the Japanese lace fern, Fortune's Crytonium, and my favourite of them all, the hairy lip fern.
I wonder why it's called that.
I don't know, but I love it. Apparently that's brown-stemmed, evergreen, silvery green leaves on that one, reaching about 50 by 50 centimetres.
Brilliant.
So they're really interesting, and I just think, more than anything, they're super valuable for those slightly shadier spots in your garden. And if you want to create a lush, tropical, sort of jungle feel in a particular area in your garden, you need your ferns to do that.
No, I've just sent us a picture of my ferns, Bex.
The iPad's on that table there.
There it is.
Shaun's going to show off his garden now. It's lovely to show off your gardens, though, isn't it? This is why we want you to send us your emails and pictures. ygtv@yougarden.com is the email address. You might need to wait a minute for it to come through.
I was thinking about it.
I'm getting a few coming through. I'll keep refreshing. Sometimes it takes a few minutes, so we might have to come back to it. Oh, there it is. That's it. There we go.
Okay.
We've got the technical stuff sorted.
So, don't zoom too much into me.
Your smiley face.
That was first thing yesterday morning. But can you see the ferns just behind me?
Yeah.
So there you go, look. And all I've done, I've really crammed that area because this was full of weeds. Right, I'll be honest, because I know he doesn't watch. So my neighbour that side, because I've got a neighbour that side, but he's got a huge old house, but his garden's massive. So the house is nowhere near us, but his garden's huge, and that side he never does anything with.
Right.
So it's just full of weeds.
Okay.
And I don't, it's one of those things, but the weeds really used to come through that side. So I just filled every little gap with ferns.
There you go.
Yeah.
No more weeds coming through.
No more weeds.
Love it.
Well, the odd one, but not many. So yeah. It's an awful picture of me, don't you think?
No, I love it when you do those pictures.
They're like,
big smiley face in the middle.
Right, but that amazing value, 6 plugs for £9.99. And the Chelsea Flower Show this year, if you were lucky enough to go there, if you saw the coverage, many of the gardens featured ferns and grasses, really on trend and very easy and thriving in the new moist environment that we're getting in the UK.
Yeah, really low maintenance but beautiful displays. So I'm a big fan of any of the fern collections that we bring.
Right, we're going to move on now to our clematis collection. Summer-long clematis collection.
I'm quite excited about the summer-long clematis collection.
Quite excited.
Quite excited. That means I'm very excited.
Exactly.
Just a wee little bit.
You're never just quite excited. You're not. Never.
I'm all or nothing.
You are.
I'm never just in the middle.
I was like,
Yeah, you've got a gorgeous clematis collection here, and what we talk about this is that it's sort of summer long because you're going to get different stages of flowering from the 3 different clematis that you're getting. So these are absolutely beautiful. Love the colours. First of all, you've got the President, which is that rich violet one you can see.
That's a nice one, isn't it?
That's the earliest blooming here. You've got so the lovely violet colour. It goes a bit silver on the reverse, and you've got the lovely sort of pink and sort of reddy coloured stamens that come out of it. You've got Madame Julia Corrivon, I think that's pronounced. So that's the dark red star-shaped one. Really dramatic, and that's the mid-season bloomer. And then you've got the Comtesse de Bouchard, which is the mauve pink. I'm not very good with that. The mauve pink with the creamy yellow stamens, and that's the late bloomer. Yeah. I mean, ultimately, what you're getting is 3 beautiful clematis, and you've got an early, a mid, and a late blooming clematis.
I mean, we could have said you get a red, pink, and a purple.
Exactly.
But I like the names, don't you? Though
I love it. Yeah, absolutely. So it give you that gorgeous summer-long display of clematis. If you were to plant these all, say you've got a pergola, you want these to grow over. If you planted them all growing over that pergola, the idea is that you get flowers all the way through the summer season, starting in around May time.
I like that.
And carrying on for you right the way through to September.
And again, just going back to trying to get more colour in your garden, choosing the right plants that flower for longer is a great idea. But as Beck said, planting certain plants together, such as those 3 clematis, you are going to get constant flowers over 7 months. So it's all, if you have got trellis Pergola. Did I say commode? No, I didn't.
I don't know what you were saying now. Pergola.
There you go. Fence.
Arch.
Yes.
Shed. Wall.
You're going to get colour for many, many months. There you go.
Dog. No, don't grow it over your dog. They won't like that.
I love that idea, though. And sometimes when you're trying to choose plants yourself and you're thinking, oh, hang on, will that flower, will that work with that one, and how will that flower? All the work's been done. Our head gardener's put this together. He knows that these 3 will give you that extended colour and flower season, which is brilliant.
And they're really easy to look after. They all have the Royal Horticultural Society Award of Garden Merit. They all want to be in a sunny position, but the best tip that we can give you about clematis is to keep the roots in a shady spot. Now, to do that, you could put some, wherever you plant your clematis, put some pots around it so it keeps the roots in shade. You could put some stone over the top of it so that it keeps those roots just a bit cooler. Sunny for the rest of it, but nice and cool roots is the toppest tip.
If these are in the ground, then just make sure that you've got some plants of a sort of medium size, maybe 20, 30 centimetres just planted around the roots.
Yeah, that will really help it.
I know we once moved one of a clematis of my mum's in a pot and we put it in too sunny a position, and literally within a few days it was like struggling because the roots were getting baked, and they absolutely hate that. Now we're going to move on to a gorgeous gerbera, but these are, you'll have known gerberas as a house plant, you'll have known them as a cut flower, but this is a collection that are winter hardy.
Winter hardy, yeah.
To -7, -8.
Absolutely, yeah, and you're going to get those 3 gorgeous colours in there as well, but it is a buy one get one free, so you're actually going to get 6 of these 7-centimetre pots. As long as you use the code YGTV2424, you'll get another 3 absolutely free. And I love the gerberas.
Oh, I do.
They're just so beautiful, and you get lovely, strong, tall stems from these, often used in cut flower displays, in bouquets of flowers and things, because you get those lovely, strong, sturdy stems.
Now, these will flower for a long time, and they can even start, on a good year, you can even get flowers starting sort of end of April, May.
Yeah, mine started coming up in May, and they're continuing continuing right through, and they will keep going right the way through to October. Once these get established, you can get 50 flowers per plant over that season as well.
And that's amazing, isn't it?
Yeah, and in my first year, Stu, have you got my pictures? In my first year, I had so many flowers that came up from these, and all I did was, as soon as they started to fade, chop one off, and it's amazing how quick the next one starts to come through. I didn't use them as cut flowers particularly. I don't tend to do many cut flowers in my garden. But look at this. This is year one of planting.
And I love those three altogether.
Year one. Yeah. Look at how many flowers are on there at any given time.
And the flowers are big. I know some of the first hardy gerbers that were bred, the flowers are a little bit small. The flowers on this variety are really, really big, 10 to 15 centimetres maximum size. And I just love the fact that they're really neat. They all seem to point in the right direction, if you know what I mean.
They do. They go straight up. Yeah. They absolutely do. And this is why they're favourites as cut flowers. Winter hardy down to about -8, so in most areas of the country they're fine. Just leave them out, let them do their thing. If you grow them in pots, obviously, and you are worried about them, then you can move them and bring them in.
And a little tip, if you want to get established, and as Bex says, you can get 50 flowers per plant, up to 50 in the season. But if you are using them as cut flowers, a little tip, they don't like to be in a vase with too much water. Have you ever noticed in a bouquet that includes gerbers, sometimes the gerbers, they're the first ones to kind of flop, so they just don't like to be put in lots of water in a vase. And something, I don't know if you ever did, do you ever put the pins to the stem?
I've seen that, yeah. I've never done it, no.
The stems are hollow on a gerber, a flower, so some people believe that if you actually get a little pin and just put a hole right the way through the stem, about an inch beneath the flower, that extends the life and stops it flopping.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Love it.
I'm
Let's
not
try
sure.
it and see if it works.
I do that, and I think sometimes it definitely does work.
You said do.
Do. I do that.
Sorry, I'm a child.
You are a child. Right. Lovely to be with everybody today, by the way.
Good morning, everybody.
Yes, good morning.
Are we doing the oleander still?
Hey, we were too fast to do that time. We were too fast. Don't forget the oleanders, by the way.
Pink ones, these.
Yeah, on offer. 2 for under £20. Amazing value on those.
Yeah.
1 for £14.95. Just buy one, great. But if you double up, you're going to get them for a tenner each, basically.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to go for one, it's great because it's a half-price deal at £14.99. But if you want to go for two, it does make it better value because they're £10 each. Anne apparently did write back to us and say she has gone for that. So
great.
Well done, Anne. Thank you,
Anne. Oh, yeah.
Oh. Get your hands in the compost. It's lovely, isn't it?
Oh,
everybody that comes in the potting shed, gardener or not, if they come in the potting shed, everybody puts their hand into this compost because it's soft and it's lovely and it feels so nice, doesn't it? And there is a really good reason for all of that. It is so soft, and I think the majority of that is made up of that composted wood fibre, 50% composted wood fibre in here, and that's what gives it this lovely, light, airy texture. And that composted wood fibre has so many benefits. First of all, it it loosens up the texture, but it also then allows for even water distribution. It helps to hold on to that water as well, and that's one of the really amazing ingredients in this compost.
And it does allow, because that brilliant texture, those roots, they can find everything they need, the oxygen, the water, the nutrients. Now, you've also got peat in here. You've got 3 different types of peat, including sphagnum moss peat, which is one of the renewable ones. We have reduced the amount of peat over the years, so now we put in the minimum amount to give maximum results, but it is in there, and I do believe that small amount of peat compared to what we used to have can still really give the plants everything they need in terms of their full support. You've also got, as Bex can show you there, all of these little green balls, and they are the slow release fertiliser. We call that almost like an insurance, so as the plants are growing, developing, it just makes sure they're getting all the nutrition that they need, and that can be released for up to 5, even 6 months.
Yeah, it really feeds them for a long time. We've got a pH buffer in here as well. I know it all sounds very complicated, but essentially what that does is it puts the alkalinity, acidity level of this compost in just the right place for the majority of your plants to live a happy life in here. The exceptions would be those on the far kind of, ericaceous side, your azaleas, your rhododendrons, your blueberries. They need an ericaceous compost, and we have it on the website. But this compost has been designed to mean that pretty much everything else, everything I think that we've got on the show today,
definitely
would live the happiest life in here. And you know, all of our customers who have bought this and have reviewed this on a regular basis, thousands and thousands of them, they can't all be wrong, can they?
No, I mean, it's our best-selling product. And I mean, most importantly, you know, we work on our incredible 11-acre nursery, and anything that's grown here, like the ready-made hanging baskets, things like the roses, you know, we pot up tens of thousands of bare root roses. We potted up the hydrangeas this year, the bare root hydrangeas, but everything that we grow is grown in this compost. If there was a better compost, we'd be using it. Also in here, you have got the wetting agent, and all that really means, in simple terms, is if the compost dries out, you water it, and the water and the compost stick together. None of that kind of watering and all the water going over the side of the pot or the hanging basket. So you've got the most amazing formulation. Great reviews. Just going to share some of those with you right now. These are just from the last couple of days, by the way. So, very good stuff. Plant and veg page doing well. Carol said, can't be without it. I have had much better results in plug plants, repotting and growing from seed. This is brilliant for seeds all the way through to trees, don't forget. Grace, great compost. Another trusted customer, excellent compost. My dahlias demand it. Robert, excellent product, quality compost, very helpful delivery company. So, yeah, honestly, over the years we've had thousands and thousands of reviews, but those have just come in the last couple of days. And don't forget, even if you're just buying compost, you get 2 50-litre bags, but you will get your free gift of Blooming Fast worth $4.99 as well. So that is amazing value, and I honestly we believe it will turn you into a better gardener overnight just by changing compost.
Yeah, and it's a great way to get multiples of your free gift as well, by the way. This has postage included. So if you need your compost, just place an order for your compost, enter the code YGTV2424, you'll get a bag of your compost, you don't have to pay postage. Then come back and place another order for everything else that you need. Get it over 40 if you can, you'll get free postage, but you'll get another bag of your Blooming Fast. In fact, Anne did exactly that. She said, I placed another order for oleanders and 30 geranium fire queens, then a clever second order of compost because of the free delivery and fantastic Blooming Fast. My treat to myself. Well done, Anne.
Well, I am going to encourage everybody to multi-order today.
Yeah.
If you are, you might, look, if you want 3 lots of compost.
I was saying that. Do it separately.
You get 3 of those.
3 separate orders.
I always stockpile this. We both do.
It's important.
I think it's the best free gift that we do because every garden needs it.
Totally.
It's not something that you think, oh, I don't really need that. Your plants deserve this. It's our best-selling fertiliser. It's really high in your NPK and your trace elements and all your minerals. It's got everything to support your plants in terms of roots and shoots and flowers. Great for veg, of course, as well.
Yeah, definitely.
It's great for everything, pretty much. Yeah. Just don't waste it on your lawn.
No.
Right, still loads more to show you.
Yeah. Right, we've got 2 new ones in the middle. Well, not new, but, you know, 2 more plants in the middle here to show you. We're going to start with our star jasmine. I love this. I love the scent that this gives. I mean, the jasmine smell is absolutely divine, isn't it? Used in a lot of perfumes and things because it is such a beautiful, beautiful scent. And this is coming to you in a 2-litre pot. And I want you to think about jasmine for a second because it's a climber, it's an evergreen, but it's one of the slowest when it comes to climbing plants.
We've both got this one, haven't we?
Yeah. It's a lovely, it's a nice steady growth rate and it's totally worth it. However, if you bought a tiny, teeny, tiny one, it's going to take a long time for it to do what you want it to do. This one is in a 2-litre pot. Look at the size of it already. This is indicative of what you will receive. It's only $14.99, which means you've got a head start, basically, on buying a tiddler. I bought a tiddler. It's going to take a while. I've got one in a tower pot, and it's lovely and big, but I bought a tiddler last year to grow up a fence. It's only about this big now, so it's going to take a long time for it to do what I need it to do.
Which actually, in a way as well, sometimes it's a good thing. Sometimes
it's good, yeah.
You don't want plants that are going to, get too big too quickly. But I'm with Bex. I've got one, and I love the fact that it's one of the few climbers that is evergreen. In the wintertime, the leaves can go sort of a red colour.
Yeah, and it's lovely.
Yeah.
I love it.
But they don't necessarily drop.
No.
They sort of go a bronzy colour. I'm actually... Because mine's looking good at the moment, but it's still fairly small, so I'm thinking of growing something else up the trellis to go with it.
Yeah, you could do.
But I don't know what.
I tell you what would be a good friend, the passion flower. Because passion flower can grow up and with other plants without strangling them.
Because they're quite sort of like delicate in terms of their growth.
They won't strangle other things, so you can grow the passion flower.
But it's an absolute beauty, and the scent, the fragrance, the flowers are just gorgeous.
It's divine.
But I like the leaves, don't you? Really glossy, really healthy. But I think you hit the nail on the head, Bex. This is a really mature plant.
It is mature.
Years of growth on that.
Yeah, this is a really good one to get. Obviously, we've taken a £5 off, so I think it's nice and affordable for the majority of people out there. It has the Royal Horticultural Society Award of Garden Merit as well, so total proven performer, very, very easy to grow, and it is hardy. Probably, I mean, we say down to about -5. I think it's more established. It might even go a bit further.
Yeah, I think mine's been colder than that.
Yeah, I think mine has as well.
Yeah, definitely, actually. But anyway, we always err on the side of caution.
Err on the side of caution.
Mine, I've had to move mine because I don't think it was getting enough sun.
I had to do exactly that,
Did you? Yeah.
and it sulked with me for a year, but it's going to be amazing this year.
Yeah, mine just wasn't. It was getting sun, but not enough, so I've got it.
Needs a good sunny spot. If you want, you'll get foliage if you keep it in a slightly shady spot, which is what happened to me.
That's what I had.
But I didn't get flowers,
Yeah,
so that's exactly why I've moved it.
I always feel good when I know that I'm not the only one to put a plant in the wrong position. Because I thought it'd be okay where it was, and mine was just the same, Bex. Really green, healthy, but I wasn't getting the flowers. Now it's in full sun and it loves it.
Absolutely, give it that full sun position. You'll be rewarded with this for many, many years, and of course it's evergreen as well. Unlike my wisteria, which is beautiful for a small period of the year, but then loses its leaves over winter. This will keep it.
Yeah. And I like the idea of, say, maybe growing another climber with it, maybe a deciduous climber. Like your passion flower, like maybe a small clematis, like a clematis boulevard, something like that. Yeah. That would look really well, wouldn't it?
Absolutely. And if you're trying to get your star jasmine to grow up and over something, let's think an arch. It'd be really good if you can go for 2 of them and get them to grow up and meet at the top. Because if you're trying to get it to grow all the way up and over and then down the other side, it's going to take you a little while.
Yeah. I love that.
I do.
One of our favourites. We've both got it, and today it is only $14.99 or $13.49 if you are a club member. Now we're going to move on to both of us have gone crazy for hydrangeas recently. There are so many great varieties. I'm kind of thinking of doing a whole border full of hydrangeas. I've added a few to my collection this year. This is one that I still haven't got, but it is right at the top of my list.
I love it so much.
You wouldn't even recognise this as a hydrangea, would you?
It's so soft. I mean, the leaves on there, they've got like a...
They're fuzzy.
They're fuzzy, aren't they?
Yeah, a bit like a kiwi sort of,
There's a lovely sort of, like a peach fuzz to the leaves on there. I love the colour of them. You've got this lovely kind of...
I'm going to step back. You step behind it, go on.
You got the...
Only so you can see it better. Look at that.
You've got this lovely kind of chocolate brown colour to it, but then you've got tinges of olive green on there. And look at the shine. Look at the sheen that you've got on it, the lustre on those leaves. I just think they're so interesting, just as a foliage plant. But of course, this is not just a foliage plant. The flowers that you get on this particular hydrangea are also phenomenal. You get these lovely kind of violet blue centres to them, and then these gorgeous blush pink outers to the flowers as well, and they can get nice and big. It's like a lace cap hydrangea. They can reach 15 centimetres in diameter.
Wow, that's
and
big,
this plant will get absolutely... Look at them. They'll get covered in these flowers, and it can get nice and big. We are talking potentially 4 metres in height. That is big, isn't it?
I mean, that is going to look magnificent, isn't it?
Won't it? Can you imagine how many flowers you'll get across that plant when it's 4 metres in height? And 2.5 metres spread on it as well.
And hydrangeas can make magnificent cut flowers as well. They're often used nowadays as cut flowers. But for me, everything about this hydrangea is magical. The colour of the foliage, the fact that it is one of the larger hydrangeas, the colour of those flowers, which are so, so pretty. And again, very, very easy to grow. Just as you probably know, when hydrangeas are not watered enough, they let you know, which is actually a good thing. You know, some plants, if you don't water them, they won't let you know, and then suddenly you look at them like, oh, you've lost all your leaves. Oh, you've gone all yellow overnight. A hydrangea will instantly flop when it needs water, so it does let you know. It's amazing how they'll come back as well. If you've got it in a pot and you forget to water, it will flop, but it's amazing how they do bounce back. But just don't leave them underwatered for too long. You've got to get in there quick. They hate being dry.
Absolutely. This one doesn't, it's not fussy on soil type.
No,
I mean,
not.
when it comes to the flower colour, because you know some hydrangeas, depending on whether it's in ericaceous or neutral soil, it'll change the colour of the flower. That doesn't happen with this one, so that might be a benefit to some of you. And as far as pruning is concerned, super easy. Flowers on the new growth. So prune in spring, basically. Give it a nice prune back in springtime, early spring, and then that new growth will bring those flowers through. Prune it to maintain the size, prune it to maintain the shape, prune it to encourage new growth and more flowers to come through.
I mean, the size of this already, though, when you think
it's a really good
$17.99
size.
for club members.
Do you know, I don't think I've taken this one out of the pot. Should we try?
Yeah, go on. This is instantly going to look great.
It's going to come out.
I need to buy this one, Bex.
Hang on, let me get a good hold.
Do you want me to?
I can feel the roots. There we go, look. Oh, yes, there's a rooty beauty, isn't it? Can you see the roots at the bottom there as well? Really beautifully established. This is a perfect time. Get this planted out, get it nicely established, and you will enjoy that for so many years.
Yeah. Right, I'm going to buy it. I don't know. I nearly bought it this week. I don't know why I didn't.
I don't know.
I don't know.
Got busy doing something else.
Maybe I was over my budget.
Maybe.
But I meant to get it. I really did. I just love... I've got loads of... Well, not loads, but I've got several hydrangeas.
I love the feel
But
of
this
it.
one is going to look great because of the foliage. I
so
think it'll make the other green-leafed hydrangeas really stand out
It
even
really
more.
will, yeah. That's why I love these darker foliage plants. Even the stems are this lovely sort of chocolate brown colour as well, aren't they? So just stop and look at it. There's so much going on. Love it.
And I personally always find hydrangeas do well in part sun, dapple shade.
Yeah, I mean, you know, it needs a decent amount of sunshine, but not a full sun position. I just don't think hydrangeas work beautifully in that full sun.
I think there's always that danger they just dry out too quickly.
Yeah.
But a reasonable amount of sun, a reasonable amount of light, obviously. 99 times 5 to 1, 507 is, of course, your item number for those. So, if you have just joined us, a very, very good morning. Welcome to YouGarden TV with myself, Shaun and the wonderful Bex Edwards. We are here live until 1 o'clock today.
Sexy Shaun.
There was only Elaine that said that. In jest, I'm sure. I'm sure she did that in jest, Bex.
Yeah, there's a pink one. Shall I get the red picture?
But we've just got our oleanders up. We've got loads here, haven't we?
I got it the wrong way around. You've got the pink.
I've got the pink.
There you go. Not that we need these. The plants show you exactly what they look like anyway, so you don't really need to see those because the plants are looking fantastic at the moment.
They are amazing. And so we've both been out on the nursery in the last week. We've seen these, and there are thousands of them, and they all look absolutely incredible. So all of them are multi-stem. These have been grown for us by what we believe to be the top breeder in the world in Sicily. So they're all multi-stemmed, you know, sometimes 9 stems in one pot. They are all in flower right now. They are evergreen. They are winter hardy to -5. They just need full sun, and I personally think they are best in pots because they are hardy to -5. It just means if it is a bit cold in the winter for a few nights, a week or so, you can just move them easily and get that added protection. But they flower and flower all summer long. When the flowers go over, just chop off the end of the stem, last kind of like 10 centimetres, and then you get lots of new shoots and lots of flowers. And they're low maintenance. They're in the Mediterranean, you'll see them growing by roadsides and things like that. Do you prefer pink or red?
I like the red.
I like the pink.
I like the red. The red, I think, are a bit more unusual. I think you see a lot of pink out there, and I think the red is a bit more classy, a bit more elegant, personally.
Oh. Well, you should be wearing red today then, Bex.
Damn it.
It's Bex in pink. Oh. No, I'm only joking. I love both, but I don't know. To me, the pink. This one's a lovely shade of pink.
It's a personal choice,
Yeah,
isn't it? I mean, the thing is, the red one isn't.
Didn't she?
She did, yeah.
Yes.
So the red one isn't your bright red. It's not like your geranium fire queen. It's actually got some pink tones to it. It's just that slightly deeper pink, and I just really adore that colour. I think it's really quite standout, and I just love the fact that oleanders are super low maintenance as well. You know, thrive on neglect, very little that you need to do to them, and of course are gorgeously evergreen. Your oleander red is 680057. It is a double up deal. If you want to go for 2, put 2 in your basket and enter the code YGTV2424, which means that you will get them for £10 each. If you only want 1, you can do that because it's still a half price deal, so you'll get that for £14.99 or 13.49 in the club.
And if you like my lovely pink ones over here, then with slightly different number for those, 680-027, same deal, one for £14.99, or you can double up and go for two of them for £19.97. They are amazing. In their native countries, they will grow several metres high. Normally in the UK, maybe 1.5 metres, 2 metres.
Yeah. But they're quite fast growing as well.
Yeah,
you should
they are.
get a good sort of maybe 20, 25 centimetres a year of growth out of them. So yeah, they're going to get hardier in the UK, and hardier the bigger that they grow as well. So nice and easy to look after.
And as I said earlier, my friend has had one for years, and it was out in the garden this year, and it did get to -8 in his garden, and he did lose the top of it, but he chopped the dead off and got loads of new growth. And as you said, rapid growth.
Rapid
it's amazing
growth. Yeah.
how these can really, really spring back and grow very, very quickly, even in the UK. But amazing value, and a really hard plant to get hold of. I mean, you know, I have not seen any oleanders in garden centres this year. It's quite difficult to bring them across the UK, but we do work with a top breeder. And don't forget, with every order today, you will get your free blooming fast, which will make 100 litres of our best-selling fertiliser, and that alone is worth £4.99. That is an amazing deal on these, isn't it?
It's
incredible,
awesome
actually.
deal. Yeah, if you want a multi-order on these, you'll be saving a lot of money.
I remember selling oleanders when we used to work on another shopping channel, and I remember selling them years ago for more than this. I really do.
Well, they were really difficult to get into the country, but we've got this amazing relationship with that superb top breeder of them in Sicily. And actually, Stu was telling me, our lovely Stu, if you try and buy oleanders from anywhere, chances are they're actually coming from us because they're really difficult to get hold of. But we've got this amazing relationship with that breeder in Sicily. Yeah,
but you always get great deals on our show, as you know. So 2 of those today for under £20. Club members, it works out £9 a plant.
Does indeed.
I mean, that's it. When you think about that, no wonder so many of you have gone for these.
Yeah.
£9. The only thing you need to remember, do not eat any part of the oleander. That applies to humans and your pets as well, so do bear that in mind. There's lots of plants you've got to be careful of in the garden.
Loads of them,
and that is definitely one of them to remember. So don't eat any part of it, you or your pets. But absolutely gorgeous. I love them. I really do. I always, whenever I go abroad, I'm always fascinated by them.
Yeah. Oh, abroad. I wonder what that feels like.
When was the last time you went abroad?
3 years ago.
Do you remember the time when you could get flights for like 30
Yeah,
quid
it was
back?
lovely.
It was, wasn't it? So I'll just get my drink.
Really enjoyed it. It was really nice.
What happened to those days?
Yeah, they've gone.
Yeah.
Hopefully they'll come back again, but for now...
I don't think they will.
For now, they're completely gone for me. Right, let's talk to you about our Lucky Dip collection, shall we? Because this one is also amazing value for money, because if you're in the club, these work out at £1 each.
And they're not plug plants.
£1 each.
These are proper perennials,
yeah,
in pots. PPP. Proper perennials in pots. Now, it will be a lucky dip, but we've got salvias here, we've got hollyhocks, it might be echinacea, it could be things like foxgloves, it could be all sorts, but all of the perennials will be fully winter hardy. They will flower varieties maybe starting as early as May, all the way through to September, October. And it will be a lucky dip. So the excitement when that big box arrives, it will be a big box on this one as well. When it arrives, and you go, oh yes, I have got there my echinacea. Oh, I've got a verbena bonariensis. Oh, I've got a geum. You know, it will be a wonderful mix of really what I would say firm garden favourites, tried and tested perennials that thrive really well in the UK and that will come back every single year. But they are not plug plants, they have been all grown in 9cm pots. And as Bex said, if you are a club member, because it's a buy one get one free, you get 9 of them, but you'll get another 9 free. So it works out £1 a plant.
I know.
That's ridiculous, isn't it?
It is absolutely crazy, honestly, because these are all winners.
I could honestly sell those outside my house.
Yeah.
For 2 or 3 times the price per plant.
If you want to buy them and take them down the car boot sale or something, we're not going to complain about that at all.
But you could do that.
You could totally do it.
You really could.
Yeah.
That's not a bad idea. Will we allow that?
I might need to make some extra money,
If we suddenly see it, if we suddenly see a big order go through for 100 of these, we know that you go into that car boot, but we don't care.
Eleanor apparently is saying she doesn't know where she's going to put them, but she's going to dig up some grass if needed.
I think that's a great idea.
I love your thinking, Eleanor. I love it. Do it.
I'm sick of we've got too much grass.
Yeah, we have as well.
And we can never cut it.
No.
with this. It's just getting the right day to go, isn't it? We've got some emails and pictures coming back.
We have. So Lawrence, thank you so much. He says he received...
Is that our regular Lawrence?
I think so.
Yes.
So Lawrence, excuse me, received the Hypericum Miracle Attraction, received and planted early May. Has a little way to go, but for a young plant, it is looking good so far. And I completely agree with you. Look at how beautiful and stand out that is.
See,
Loads of flowers
that is
on
so
there.
pretty, isn't it?
It's gorgeous. I love it. And it's going to look really nice in there, in that little border you've got
Lawrence,
going
I like
on.
your Fittinia at the front.
Yeah, it's looking good, isn't
That's
it?
a
Do you know,
nice
mine's
one.
just thrown up a load of new red leaves as well. It's all started turning green and now got a load of new red on there too.
Lawrence, what variety is that one? Because it's got loads of pink on it. It's lovely.
Yeah, it's nice.
There's loads of lovely Fitinias. I've got quite a few, but I really like that one.
That's looking lovely,
What else have we got,
Lawrence?
Bex?
Oh, we've got so many in here. Let's see what Elaine sent us. Elaine sent us another picture. It's just loading. Hold on. Oh, she's got the moonrise. The Acer Shirawasanamum. Shirasawanamum. I love that. She says that's just arrived.
Look at the condition. Isn't that beautiful?
That's so beautiful.
Just make sure you put it in a nice sheltered corner.
Nice sheltered
no
corner,
wind,
dappled shades.
Aces don't like.
We've got some ferns. Adam, that's not loading. Oh, there we go. Adam has sent us some pictures of his little ferny corner here.
Very nice, Adam.
Love that. Look at that contrast. So pretty. Of course, we've got that woodland fern collection on the show if you want to go for that.
That's a really nice picture, that, isn't it?
Yeah, look how green and shiny and luscious that
Sometimes
looks.
just old foliage looks so good, doesn't it?
I know, it's beautiful. Let's have a look. We've got some more. We've got some more fern pictures as well here. Who's this one from? Fern pictures from Karen in Sutton-on-Sea in Lincolnshire.
Hello, Karen.
Morning. These are a couple of pics of my ferns in an ericaceous bed and my sandstone YouGarden planters with my pineapple, guava, Bidens and osteo with them and some geraniums. Great show.
Right, let's have a look.
Oh, I can't wait. Let's have a little look. Oh,
that is nice.
Yes.
Right, let me just work through what we've got. The hostas look good as well, Bex, don't they?
Yeah, mine have got a few munch holes in them.
Oh, have they?
Yeah, but they're all right, and they're throwing up some flowers. That looks beautiful.
Absolutely stunning.
Let's see what else I can get
Yeah.
here. There's some more pictures. I can't scroll on this one. Oh, you want me to zoom?
So I keep disappearing so I can see close up.
Yeah, look. Oh, look at all of that. That looks amazing, doesn't it?
Yeah, I can see it better on the big screen, that's why I like
yeah,
it.
it's looking really good. Right, hang on. What else have I got? We've got a Salix from Adam, if it loads.
Adam.
Oh, I do love Adam's
Oh,
garden.
my
Look at
word.
that.
I wonder
Yeah,
how
that's
old
what
that
mine
is.
looks like. Mine's as big as that. That's beautiful.
Oh, my word, so I love that whole garden, don't you?
I want to go and sit on that bench. See that bench in the middle there? Just go and sit there and drink a cup of coffee.
Oh, my word,
And that's that
is
fatsia in the corner,
absolutely stunning, isn't it?
What a gorgeous garden.
Yeah, well done. That is absolutely beautiful.
Love it.
Yeah, so full, isn't it?
And there's another picture in here from... Who's it from? I have to come off it, though. Roger.
Come on, Roger.
Oh, no, it's not a picture. It's just saying, going to get some jasmine to plant in a tower pot. Should I take the cane out? Yes, you should, Roger. So it comes to you with the cane in. That obviously holds it in place for us to be able to transport that to you. But once you get it into your tower pot, take the cane out and then just, put the plant around.
And what I'd say, just slowly and carefully, because there's several tags that are holding that
Yeah,
together.
so just snip the little tags off.
Just be really careful as it comes away from the actual cane.
Yeah.
But then that means in the tower pot, because this one is like quite as multi-stemmed. You've got 3 stems there, so it really allows you to really weave this in and out of the tower pot and get more of a full coverage.
Yeah,
that's a great choice, this one.
I got one in a tower pot as well, Roger, so it's a good choice to put that in a tower pot.
Yeah.
You can always take it with you. It's lovely. Philip, you're on Facebook. Thank you so much for watching. He has just ordered our Lucky Dip perennial plant collection.
Well done, Philip.
It's a good selection, honestly.
Yeah, he didn't order 10 of them for a card boot. He just ordered 1 set for himself. That's fine. That is absolutely fine. But yeah, it's a really good collection. That price, £1 each. Really busy today. It's lovely to be with each and every one of you. Bex and I feel so lucky to be involved in the gardening world and to be here with YouGarden TV.
We do. Long may it continue.
Yeah, it's an absolute joy, isn't it?
It really is. Honestly, it's like it's a lovely subject to talk about, something we're both very passionate about, and our lovely community of viewers. We know you're passionate as well.
But really busy, so thank you to everyone that's placing an order. Don't forget, A few sort of like golden rules. I know most of you regulars know this, but we always get new viewers that find us. So if you ever spend over £40, you get free delivery on your order. So any order over £40 free delivery, as long as you use the code. If you don't use our code, you don't get all the offers. So the code unlocks everything. It's like
the
that
magic key.
It is that magic key.
Magic key.
And it suddenly goes like, wow, every offer now is suddenly available. If you don't spend £40, we appreciate you cannot spend maybe £40 every time you shop with us, but postage maximum is £6.99. It's caps at £6.99 per order. What's this, Bex?
A free gift. And this is something that we try and maintain for you every single week. We bring you something that's a free gift, or, you know, just an extra added bonus, our gift to you, if you like. And this is our Blooming Fast fertiliser. This one will make 100 litres of the best feed that you can have for your plants, your fruits, your vegetables, your flowers, no matter what it might be. This will do the job for you. High in the NPK, but also got all of those trace elements in there as well, which is really, really vital for the health of your plants. More flowers, more roots, more shoots, more fruits, all of that jazz.
Every real part of the plant is fed with this.
Even the foliage, you can do a foliar feed with it as well.
And I know sometimes, I don't know about you, but I prioritise. So I do the watering probably first, then the weeding, and the feeding sometimes comes at the end of the day.
Yes.
So I've got time to feed, but actually, just feeding regularly, particularly obviously during the growth periods and some months, it makes them massive difference, a huge difference, and that is the best food that we know of here at the nursery. That's what we feed our plants with at the nursery.
It absolutely is. It's what we feed our plants with in our own gardens too.
Yeah, and loads of you have been stockpiling this, so if you go for separate orders, you get one of those with every single order. And if you join the club today, you'll get 10% discount on everything on the show as well. Right, the oleanders have been flying, Bex.
Yes,
so you're in the red corner
I'm
today.
in the red corner. Oleander red bush that we've got here. And it's not the bright crimson red. It's a lovely kind of deeper, pinker, slightly coloured red that you've got going on here. I think it's incredibly classy and very, very beautiful.
And I'm in the pink corner. I love all of these, to be fair.
Yeah, I do too.
But we are doing a double-up deal, and these are amazing value. I mean, I'm not being funny. I remember showing you oleanders in another life and another shopping channel many years ago, and they were more expensive than this. They really were. So 2 of them for under £20. And I don't think we used to work with a different breeder back then.
Yeah.
And they were good quality, but these are excellent.
These are excellent quality.
I mean, Peter, our head gardener, has been talking, you know, he's been going to dinner parties just talking about oleanders. It's been really exciting. No, but he, honestly, I mean, we've both spoken to Peter, and he's been delighted with the quality this year.
Yeah.
And because we have tens of thousands brought across the YouGarden nursery, we get these amazing discounts and prices. But I was out on the nursery just last week, and, well, you see how good these look, all thousands of them.
How gorgeous these oleanders. I mean, there must be hundreds here. This is the red that's on offer right now, and they're just spectacular. Just want to take one out. There you go. So, multi-stems has got 9 stems on it. All of these gorgeous flowers. I'll be honest, some have got even more. Look at this one. That's got like 4 big stems of flowers. And the offer right now on YouGarden TV is incredible. So 1 for under £15, but if you double up, you can get 2 for less than £20. For club members, it works out about £9 an oleander. And these are actually really rare now to get hold of in the UK. You probably think, oh, I've not seen oleanders in the garden centres. No, they're really, really difficult to get in the UK. But we work with an amazing grower in Sicily, family business that have been growing oleanders for generations, and their quality is second to none. Every one of these is multi-stemmed, covered in buds and flowers. These are going to flower all summer long. And then in the wintertime, they actually keep their leaves, so they are evergreen. And then they'll do it all again next year. They normally start about, well, it depends on the spring and the weather, but normally start about May time and will flower all the way through to even October. One thing I will say about oleanders is that the displays that they give are actually quite spectacular. I mean, you can see here, you imagine as this gets bigger, you are just going to get hundreds of these delightful red flowers. They're very easy to look after. They just need full sun, so don't put them in the shade. Don't even put them in part shade. They really want sun all day long. And probably sheltered position as well. They are winter hardy. We class them as hardy down to about -5 in the UK. If it gets cold on that, just make sure you protect with them with some fleece or move them to a warmer spot. But yeah, hardy to -5 in the UK. Now, I've seen these abroad. I've seen these in Spain and Italy and America, and in their native countries, they can grow several metres high, but normally in the UK, they get to maybe 1.5, 2 metres. Great in pots. I would probably plant these in pots, then you can at least, say, move them around. Just remember, don't eat your oleanders, and that applies to humans and all pets as well. Just don't eat any part of them, but enjoy them and just feel like you're on a holiday. I mean, we're in Lincolnshire, as you probably know, but I feel like I'm in Italy right now, having a gorgeous summer holiday.
He's like a little gnome sat in amongst the oleanders.
They're so impressive, though,
They
aren't they?
look amazing, honestly. I love going in that part. Well, I love going in any part of the nursery, but that particular tunnel in the nursery, that one's always a lovely one to go in, isn't it?
But it just gives you an idea of the consistency, of the quality of these. There were thousands of oleanders. You can see they're all pretty much the same height. They're all multi-stem. So they are really impressive this year, and they are selling really, really quickly today. So you're on the red side,
I'm on the red team today. 680057 is the item number if you want to go for the red. If you go for one, it's a half price deal. It's $14.99. But if you double up and put 2 in your basket and enter the code YGTV 2424, it'll work out at £10 each, basically. If you're in the club, it works out at £8 each. £9 each. Yeah, £9 each.
£9 each.
680057 is the item number if you want the red ones. But you're in the pink corner.
Listen to Stu when it comes to maths.
I always listen to Stu.
So if you like the pink ones, then they are also on offer. And again, they're working out just £9 each if you double up if you are in the club. And that's 680027. But we're going to move back to a lot of you have been ordering the Hypericum today. It's a great choice. I don't know why I've never had one in my garden. I'm certainly going to be adding this. And I have got space. And if not, you just dig up more lawn, as we all know. But I think when you really look closely at this, it's stunning. I mean, the buds and the flowers, there's so much variety in terms of colour, isn't there?
There's so much going on with it. I adore it. I think
it's really beautiful.
I was saying yesterday, like, if you just take the flowers, just look at the flower. The flower in itself is just enchanting. I think it's so beautiful. I love the way it opens up from the buds, and then the petals reflex and bend backwards, and then standing proud from there. It's not just a couple of stamens. Look at how many stamens there are on there. So those are enchanting just by themselves.
To me, a photo of that on a greetings card would be perfect, wouldn't it?
It's beautiful. Yeah. And then when you add in all of the buds and the berries that are going to appear on here later on as well, and I just think it's one of the most beautiful plants once you really start looking at it.
And again, it's a really good size. It's already well established, 2 litre pots, $8.99 for club members, long flying season. And I think when you look at your garden, there are some things that are short-lived and worth having. You know, a magnolia, the flowers are very short-lived, but when they're in flower, they are incredible.
Yeah, it's like wisteria. Love wisteria, but it's a small, short flowering season. But to have something that flowers from now, you know, it's blooming right now, and it's going to keep going right the way through into autumn, September and into October, and plus you get berries included on here as well. That's a really valuable plant to have in your garden. If you're talking about 365 days of colour, this is going to add colour for a lot of those.
Yeah, it is.
A lot of those 365 days.
But again, very, very easy to grow.
Yeah,
not difficult at all.
Totally winter hardy. You can pretty much plant it and leave it alone. Just put it in a sunny position, that's all we would say. Probably a slight shade, part shade, but really it wants to be in a sunny position if you can.
I'm enchanted by that. Yeah, I'm going to get one of those.
Yeah, I love them.
Yeah, I like yellow. I do like
favourites.
yellow in the garden as well, do you?
Yeah.
It's really, just a lovely colour. Anyway, really busy for that one. $8.99 for club members. Then we've got my ultimate favourite when it comes to a bedding plant, begonia apricot shades. I grow these every year. You've grown them many times.
I've grown them before, yeah, and I've got begonias growing this year. I haven't chosen the apricot shades this time, but I do understand why this is a customer favourite. I do understand why people go back to these year after year after year, because even on a dull grey summer's day, the shades of the begonia apricot shades are illuminated. Yeah. I don't know what it is about that particular colour, but there's something about, even on a grey day, they really do shine.
And the reasons why we think every garden should have these, just on a practical level, we know that nowadays you can get 4 seasons in a day. You never know what the weather's going to be like, it feels. And sometimes you get loads of rain and hail and wind and then really bright sunshine. These are so weather resistant. They don't get easily damaged on a bad day. You know, some things like a peony can get smashed to bits on a bad day. Petunias, even if it's really wet, petunias can go to mush, but these withstand pretty much all weather conditions. I love them for shady spots. If you think, I love a hanging basket, but I haven't really got a really sunny spot. They do remarkably well in part shade as well as full sunshine. They flower all summer long with very little care. And at the end of the year, when it gets frosty, they'll start to turn black and die down. But you can save the corns at the crate as well. Do you do that, Bex? Or?
Do you know, I didn't last year. I have done previously, and I'm going to this year. Because, you know, I'm on a budget. I can't afford to spend every year. So certain things, if I can overwinter them, like the geranium fire queens, like the begonias I've got growing, if I can do that, that's exactly what I'm going to do.
And you just know, when you dig them up at the end of the season, there's like, it almost looks like a bulb, but it's sort of a white colour. It's like a little sort of like round ball, not quite round, like a squash round ball. Just keep that frost free in the garage, a shed or something, and then plant it next year, and they will grow back. But actually, sometimes begonias do. They're not supposed to, but they do sometimes survive the winters. I've got a few that have come up this year in the beds and borders that have been there all winter. Yeah. And I'm like, I've been amazed to suddenly see them come back. So
best thing if you do want them to come back, though, is definitely move them, keep them frost free. Yeah, don't allow it to chance.
No. But don't say next year, oh, Shaun said they'd survive the winter. But they're just so easy. It's like, all they want to do is please you. It's like, right.
Deadhead themselves, you know, you don't really need to do anything. And as we say, just tolerant of all those British summer weathers.
If I was to make a hanging basket or a pot for a friend that knew nothing about gardening, and I knew what, I would give them a
begonias.
Begonias.
Totally.
Most of my friends, actually, no, some don't really like gardening. But yeah, I would, because they're just so easy. So, and if you're busy, or maybe you don't have as much time as you used to, go for the begonias. An amazing deal, double up deal, 2 packs for £17.99. 410050 for the begonia apricot shades there. Right, the verbena quartz is next. These are so pretty, aren't they?
Love them. I think the mixture of colours that you've got included in this particular mix is gorgeous as well. A pot of these all on their own, that will be joyful, because they will flower right from now all the way through to those first frosts as well. They stay nice and compact, about 25 centimetres, 30 centimetres height, and spreading by that much as well. So these are great for filling in gaps in borders. You can even put these in the top of your hanging baskets, into window boxes. Really versatile summer bedding plant for you to mix around your gardens. And of course, this is the Quartz F1 series as well, so it has exceptional resistance to mildew. It's easy, it's trouble-free, it performs well in hot and drought conditions, and it's tolerant of the inevitable rain. So a similar story as to the begonia apricot shades, in actual fact, of what it will cope with. Love it.
I'm just looking there. This particular variety is just gorgeous, isn't it?
Yeah.
So much interest there.
Yeah, the colours are stunning,
they really are.
Aren't they?
They're quite magical.
I like the way they sort of open as well, because they sort of open from the out in, don't they?
Yeah, they do. Yeah, because they're in clumps. But you're right, it's the outer flowers and then sort of the middle
goes through to the centre. I quite like that.
They're just beautiful, and love a sunny spot. Again, very, very easy, and they're going to give you those riots of colour all summer long. And they really, I mean, let's just have a look at one of these plugs. Let's get one out, Bex.
I'm going to pull
because these are garden ready. You know, we do different types of plugs. We start off with the really small ones, which are the pro plugs, but these are the big, juicy garden readies. So literally, take them out of the box, take them out of the trays, get them in your pots and your beds and borders. Yeah,
plant those out, get them planted. Honestly, they're going to just delight you all summer long. They're another one that is quite a favourite for our customers, because they're just so wonderful.
We've just dropped the price of those, by the way. There's been a price reduction. So it works out another $1.99 for another 10.
Yeah.
So you can now get, that's really good. You can get 20 of these for $14.98.
So that's $12.99. And if you add a second one into your basket and use our code, that's $1.99.
And Bex, I'm going to do my...
that's crazy, isn't it?
I'm going to do my 9cm pot rounds.
You're going to do what, Shaun?
My 9cm pot rounds.
Oh, he's going to do his 9cm pot thing.
Because the thing is, garden centres, and I'm not knocking them, but I know how they work. I've actually got some friends that own garden centres, so I know how they work. And what they can literally do is take one of those, put it in a 9 centimetre pot, literally grow it on for a week or two, and suddenly that is worth, I would say, a lot of garden centres are charging $2.99 this year for one plant in a 9 centimetre pot. You're getting, if you go for the double up deal, you're getting 20 for less than £15. So 75 pence a plant. But literally one of those, you'll know if you've been to the garden centres, individual bedding in a 9 centimetre pot this year is, I would say, £2.50 to £3. You may get a deal if you buy so many, you get a little discount. But our value, because they are garden ready. But by having them in a tray of 10 or 20 if you're doubling up, it saves on the postage, it saves on the delivery.
And that one plant I just handed you.
Look at that.
That's
Multi-stemmed.
So that's the one plant I just gave you, and I noticed we've got a cluster of flowers there, but you can see there's 2 more just
and there's one
ready
and
waiting to open. Oh, and another one there. You're absolutely right. So there's 4 of them on there ready to open.
Yeah. So we've got a new deal on these. Double up, spend another £1.99, and you'll get another 10 plants today. I think they're amazing, a great quality, and there's always room, isn't there? There's always room to plant.
Oh, there's always room.
Always room.
It doesn't matter how much you planted in your beds and borders. There's always a few gaps, isn't there? Get them filled. Get them filled with your verbenas.
Give them sun. They do like a nice sunny spot.
Yeah, definitely.
Right, we're going to move on now to our anti-rhinums, or our snapdragons as I know them. And these have been really popular.
Yeah.
The mini butterfly mixed, again, 10 garden-ready plants, just £8.99 today. There's some gorgeous shades and pastels in there,
Honestly, yeah. You've got some lovely pastel shades. You've also got some gorgeous rich coloured shades in there. The rich red colour. You've got pinks, yellows, whites, peaches included. So it's a beautiful mix of colours. And this one is a really lovely kind of dwarf favourite of that garden favourite. So, dwarf variety of that garden favourite.
That'll do. We knew, Bex.
So that means that these are going to be even better at standing up to British weather. You know, sometimes snapdragons can get a bit destroyed by rain, but if they're shorter, that means it's going to be even better. Bit of deadheading is going to just help you to encourage those blooms to come through. Flowering from around, you know, sort of June, July time is when they start. These have got buds on there ready to open up, and they will keep going for you right the way through to September and into October. It's only going to be those first frosts that really knock these out. They are gorgeous, quintessential summer flower.
Yeah, beautiful. And I said earlier, some of the varieties that I've grown before I've self-seeded, and I've ended up with 3 snapdragons.
Love it.
Not going to guarantee it, but I do like a bit of self-seeding when it happens.
Yeah, it's lovely.
Free plants,
like free plants, definitely.
Who doesn't? But really healthy on our nursery right now, and £8.99. Then we have got the same deal on our geranium Fire Queen, and we've both planted these this year. In fact, Bex, I'll try and get a picture of what I've done with my mums.
Yeah, do
it. I want
to
see your pots again, because
well,
they've inspired me.
I love them. There we go. Look, there's my home basket, which is looking great. But yes, what I've done down here is I've put the Fire Queens into those little round Alhambra pots. So just one plant, by the way, in each of those pots. And that's the display that I have got right now. That was the video just the other day outside my front house. Love that lovely tiered sort of display that I've created. Of course, I'm patting myself on the back, but it's such an easy thing to do. And that bright zingy red is absolutely incredible. But it's not just about the flowers with these. What I really enjoy is the fragrance that you get. Even on the ones that we've got here in our potting shed, the fragrance is absolutely incredible. But look at the patterning on those leaves, that lovely zonal patterning that you've got. I'm in love with geraniums.
I love what you've done at the front of your
It looks cute, doesn't it?
It looks really nice. That is a really warm welcome, isn't it?
Yeah, every time
I bet you smile every time you walk in.
Every time I go home and walk in that front door, I stand there just for a few seconds, just looking at it, because it just makes me smile. And that's what gardening is all about, isn't it? It's about giving yourself that little smile, that lovely little fragrance. And geraniums transport me to my nan's house. She would always be sitting in a little conservatory looking out at her garden, and you'd walk in that conservatory and she'd have the geraniums growing on the windowsills and stuff. And so that scent instantly transports me to my nan's house. And, you know, that's one of the things I love about gardening. Reminds me of my nan.
So this is what I've done at the back of my mum's garden. So we've done the same thing, little pots of the red geraniums.
Gorgeous.
I've done all of the back garden in sort of reds and whites, just so you can see them being partially sighted. But I don't they look cute, just in little terracotta pots?
They look absolutely beautiful. I love it.
Doesn't Mum look cute, bless her? Not bad for 110. Sorry, Mummy.
You'll be in trouble.
Oh, I'm in trouble.
Yeah, you'll be in trouble,
I
Shaun.
hope Mum's not watching.
Morning,
today.
Carol.
Did I bet she's watching? Oh, God. Oh, dear. But, right, I'll get rid of that. But they are brilliant. And as we've said before, don't waste them at the end of the year. Geraniums make great houseplants.
Yeah.
I grew up with houseplants, mostly geraniums actually in our house. We always used to have them as houseplants, and great and easy to take cuttings off as well. Just before they start to go over a little bit, so September time, take off some of the really healthy shoots. I literally normally take off a shoot about that big, take off the bottom leaves, put it in a glass of water, it'll root within a week.
Yeah, well, I'm just going to bring those pots in, overwinter those,
Yeah.
maybe take some cuttings as well, nice and simple.
So saving you money with those geraniums. Right, let's just remind you of some of the absolute favourites today. I'm really pleased that so many of you have gone for the Eucalyptus gunnii. So this is a really compact variety. It's got smaller leaves, but this has been grown as a standard as well. So it's never going to go too big. It's happy in a pot. Winter hardy to, we say about -20, because there are certain varieties of eucalyptus that are not really suitable for the north of England, but this one is hardy to -20. Makes great cut foliage as well. I mean, the leaves smell gorgeous, don't they? They really work well in flower displays. But I think that's a stunner, and it's only £22.49 for club members to £24.99. Now you've loved the Fatsia today as well. So we both rave about Fatsias, often known as the castor oil plant, because they do offer interest all year round. You've got that gorgeous green foliage. In the winter time, you get these really kind of strange flowers that on a cold winter's day, they can add so much interest. I really like the fact that the Fatsia can tolerate really quite shady positions. So if you've got that dark, dingy, shady corner, a Fatsia can do surprisingly well there. They are winter hardy. On a really cold winter's day when the ground is solid, they will look like they flopped. They really will. They'll droop and look pretty dreadful, but I promise you, the moment the ground thaws, they will burst back to life. And it's a really big plant, that one. It's in the 17cm pot at £14.99. They're great, and the weird thing is they're kind of so winter hardy and so easy to grow, but they look so tropical. Having said that, I think Fatsias, they look great in kind of, like we've positioned that with bamboos and things like that, but they can actually work really well in a country cottage garden as well. There's the flowers, by the way, that do come out in winter time. Right, hydrangeas, there are so many wonderful varieties of hydrangeas, and this one is incredible. It's called hot chocolate, and you've got the most gorgeous burgundy foliage, red, sort of reddish stems as well, and then when it flowers in the summertime, absolutely delightful pink flowers. Now this one can grow, if you want it to, it can go quite large. It can grow up to about 4 metres in terms of height. It just loves nice moist soil, so just bear that in mind. Hydrangeas hate to be dry. Part shade, I think, would be best. They'll do okay in full sunshine, but again, just make sure that they do not dry out. And they will come back every single year as well. 511-507 for the hydrangea Aspera hot chocolate. I'm thinking of buying that one, definitely on my list today. And then we brought you the Tracheospernum star jasmine. So don't forget, this is one of the few really evergreen climbers in the UK. So you get those glossy leaves all year round. Now in the winter they may turn red, but it doesn't shed off its leaves. You may lose some, it naturally sheds leaves, but they kind of got like a bronzy red in the winter time. And then if it's in a sunny spot, you get the most amazing fragrant flowers right now. It's not too fast. It's a sort of like slow to moderate grower, so it doesn't suddenly take over, anything like that. And what I really like is you tend to get the flowers mostly well, all the way up the stems, not just at the top. You know, like some clematis, you just get all the flowers at the top, which can be a bit annoying. This one, you get the flowers all the way through the foliage. Absolutely gorgeous. And wait till you smell that fragrance. And the flowers are really pretty on that. You've got the 5 petals on there as well. I think we have got some emails coming, Bex.
We've had a few emails.
Yes.
We've had some pictures. Hang on 1 second. I'm just going to go into the chat on YouTube. Elaine says, if I had the room, I'd order more of the Lucky Dip, although I could always dig up some of the grass.
Go for it, Elaine.
We're all on that. Somebody was saying they've got an order coming. Elaine, order going in tonight. Yes, very good.
Thank you, Elaine.
Karen, bought those oleanders from the old channel, Shaun, as a standard. Oh, when they didn't last long. Oh, I'm so sorry, but they should have been on our Oh no, they're not on the winter hardy one, are they?
Again, just going back to
but these are definitely great value and great quality.
Yeah, what I would say with oleanders, you just need to make sure in the winter time that they are protected. And it does depend where you live. Obviously, there's a big difference if you live in the north and the south, but we do say hardy to -5. But if you buy them again, I don't know where you live. Do you see where she lives?
She didn't say no.
Just make sure you pay extra care and attention to them in the winter months. The more established they get, the more harder they get. But we say down to -5. What I would do, I'd definitely keep these in pots.
Yeah.
Because then you've got a bit more control. You can protect them more. You can bring them closer to the house because that extra 1 or 2 degrees from them being against the wall of your house can make a difference. And if it's cold, you can always put a fleece around them as well. So there are some things that you need to do with oleanders just to keep them protected. What I will say is I think these are even healthier than ones previously. But we now work with the top breeder. Yeah. So I would try them again at this price. I would definitely try them again.
I would definitely try them again. And as Shaun said, just give them that little bit extra bit of protection depending on where you live. Neil's saying the white flowers and scent of the star jasmine is lovely. Ellen is saying, I love my hot chocolate. It's in the round Diablo pot.
Oh, so there's a picture?
No picture, I'm afraid. Elaine's saying red oleander is majestic. That's why I ordered 2 last week. Karen is saying I have the yellow and I'm going to order the pink to match my front door. You've got a pink front door. That's cool. I love that.
Pink and yellow go really well, don't they?
They look great.
Rhubarb and custard. Yeah.
The Hypericum looks so polished, says Adam.
It does, doesn't it? It looks like the berries have been polished. Yeah. I promise you, we did not have time to polish those berries this morning.
Elaine says, lovely pic, sexy Shaun. And Karen says, love your mum. She's so modern, bless her.
I really like these comments from Elaine today. Loving your words, Elaine.
All right, that's it on there for the time being.
Thanks for all those comments. We really appreciate it.
Do we have any more? Alison on the email saying, I have a delivery on its way today. It's not telling me how many stops yet. It should be the clematis Mrs. N. Thompson and 20 of the green Prisma plant pots. You're
20?
one of the people that ordered the 20, are you? Very good.
That was good. That was good saving.
That was a great deal, that. We went and had a look in the pot shop. Me and Stu yesterday afternoon went and had a look around to see what pots are there. Hopefully we'll bring you some more deals very soon.
But yeah, we love it. We love it when you interact with us. Right, coming up next, we have got a brilliant buy one get one free with our Hardy Gerber collection. So Bex grew these last year. I've got some. I might actually in my borders actually might have been my little Mediterranean area. And the great thing is, when these are established in year 2 onwards, you can get up to 50 flowers on each plant per season. And I've known gerbers to actually, I mean, not this year because we've not had really the best of springs and early summers, but I've known them flower kind of late April right the way through to September time. So it's like April, May, June, July, August. That's 6 months.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. They really, really can. And they have gorgeous tall stems on them. So this lush kind of verdant foliage at the bottom, but then these flowers rise up so tall out of that foliage. And they're just easy to grow. They look great if you want to cut them and bring them indoors and mix them into your vases with other flowers. And as Shaun said, up to 50 flowers per plant on here once they get established.
And they're big flowers, aren't they?
They're big, yeah. They're a really good size. They're hardy down to about -8, so all but the worst winter weathers, they're going to be fine. They're herbaceous. herbaceous, they disappear over the winter, and then they come back. So you start seeing the foliage come up, and then these flowers just kind of appear like magic.
They're amazing. And
they are.
And I know that some of the first hardy gerbers that were bred, the flowers were a bit on the small side. I remember them from our previous shopping channel, and they were nice. But the new breeds, the flowers are even bigger.
Well, this is a bit of a breeding breakthrough. They're larger flowers and they last longer, and that's what's happened with these.
I love it when the breeders really kind of answer our prayers when it comes to gardening, because quite often you say, oh, I love that plant, but I wish it flowered longer, I wish the flowers were bigger. And the breeders really work hard. They'll take sort of like favourites and they'll make them even better. And with this, more flowers, bigger flowers, that is win-win, isn't it?
Totally.
And winter hardy to -7, -8, which is absolutely incredible. Now, you grew yours in pots, didn't you?
I did, the Bellagio pots, because they're lovely colours, so you can sort of mix and match the colours. There's a yellow pot, an orange pot and a red pot, and I grew them in contrasting pots. So I put the red and the yellow and the orange and the red.
It really worked.
It looks really, really beautiful. And I just love how many flowers I got, and it was super easy. Just every now and then I'd go out, cut the faded flower off, and then more would come through. It was really easy. Loads of colour for such a long time.
And they do make a really nice cut flower. Because you've got to bear in mind, you've got, if you get the buy one get one free, so you're actually going to get 6 of these. So in year 2, that's potentially, across the season, 300 flowers. Which, so
there's a lot, isn't it?
You should have enough for cut flowers. Just the little tip that I gave you as a cut flower, they don't like to be in too much water. So if you ever buy a mixed bouquet and you fill your vase full to the top with water and you notice the gerbers go all soggy and floppy, it's because they've got hollow stems. So when they're in a big vase of water, it basically, the stems turn to mush and they go all floppy. So as a cut flower, just put them in a few inches of water and they will last longer. And some people leave by putting a little pinprick through the stem, about an inch from the top, it will stop them flopping and keep them upright and looking gorgeous.
Yeah, well, they are quite long lasting as a cut flower, so they're great for that, aren't they?
Yeah, in the right environment, otherwise you get flopsy.
We don't want flopsy.
No, not with your
gerbers. Or mopsy or cottontail.
Now we've got our geums, our pumpkins.
Yeah, I love these.
Aren't they sweet?
Well, I love geums anyway. I think they're really gorgeous flowers to have in your garden, but these are nice, aren't they? Because they're a bit unusual.
Now, I'm going to confess, I only got to see the real flower on these today. I'd seen the plants, but I'd never seen the images, but I'd never seen the flower in real life, and it's even better than anticipated.
It's beautiful. It's a really kind of rich orange colour that you get on here as well. Pair these with purple. I mean, do what you like. But I think orange and purple are just one of the best combinations. I really want to get these and put them between, because I've got my geranium roseanne and it's kind of very near my Bowls mauve. So there's purple shades. I feel like I need something in the middle to break it up. I want to put a geum in the middle of those to break it up, and I think it would look gorgeous.
Bex, I think, I'm just going to check, but I think purple and orange are opposites on the
colour wheel, yeah.
Are they?
Which is, I think you might be right, which is why they work beautifully together. Yeah.
Right, so I need to check that now.
Well, what you get on these are these lovely fiery orange pom-pom shaped blooms. They're double, they're ruffled, they are absolutely gorgeous, and they give you summer long displays. They will start flowering every year from around May time basically, and they'll go right the way through to September. This particular plant was shortlisted for Plant of the Year at the Chelsea Flower Show just last year, 2023. So you can tell how amazing that is. If it got shortlisted for Plant of the Year, and the competition for that is incredible. It repeat flowers all the way through the summer. All you have to do is deadhead to make sure that you encourage that to come through. It's a super hardy perennial, lovely mound of foliage, and then those beautiful flowers just rising up out of it. It's a nice neat plant.
I mean, our flower action in the studio has just gone over a little bit, but it's still lovely.
Yeah.
We were kind of right with the colour spectrum wheel, Bex.
Is it not far off?
No, they're sort of near each other opposite-wise.
It's not far, is it?
I'm with you, it works.
It's almost half.
Yeah.
It's almost on the opposite end.
I think purple and orange look great. They're two really strong colours, aren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love purple and orange.
I might buy this. I've got some geums already, but mine are all singles. So they look a bit...
Love them,
yeah.
but they're all singles. These are the double ruffled ones, which makes them just a bit, unusual, but unique.
I think they look a bit more special.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right, my list is coming together.
Herbaceous perennial, so you'll have them for years, and you can divide these as well. They don't get massive. We're only talking maybe 30 by 30 centimetres, but once they've got to that size, you know, you can then divide them and spread them around your garden. You'll get more flowers that way.
Do your dunes die right down, Bex?
No.
I'm going to say mine don't. They die back.
They die back. Sorry, yes, I should have been more clear. Yeah, they die back, but they do leave something above ground.
I mean, they don't.
You can tell where they are.
They don't look great in the winter, but you know where they are. Because we both say with anything that dies right down herbaceous, sometimes you do forget where it is.
Yeah, and I hate that because I do end up planting something over the top of it or accidentally dig it up.
I did that with some hostas early on in the year. And I was like, oh no, of course.
No, put them back in. Hopefully they'll be all right.
Sorry, you were sleeping. I've just really ruined your deep sleep for the winter, and I've chopped you in half. I'm really sorry. So it does happen. Now we're going to move on to our Acer collection next. Now we are both massive fans of Acers, aren't we?
I love them so much. I just think these are beautiful. I actually bought this collection just last week and sent it to my gorgeous friend who got married recently because
what a lovely idea.
I just thought, you know what, it'll remind her of me because she knows how much I love Acers. Because obviously it's all about me. But also, more importantly, this is something that they are going to have for the rest of their lives because Acers are incredibly long-lived. As long as you follow a few simple rules, and it is simple rules, these will last for decades. I mean, there's Acers that are hundreds of years old out there as well. So, you know, if you look after them, they can outlive you very easily. And I just love the selection that you've got here. The colour combination with those three Acers is incredible, isn't it?
It is. So you've got the Orange Dream, which is that lovely, well, it's the orange one. The new growth comes through orange. You've got Emerald Lace. That's a really nice one in the corner there.
So the Emerald Lace is my favourite, I think. I mean, do you know what? I love all of three of these. But when it comes to Acers, I'm a big fan of that full dissected leaf, you know? But then you've also got the maple-shaped leaves included.
Yeah, and then the Atripurpureum there, the gorgeous burgundy.
Yeah, and that burgundy colour, when you put that in your garden amongst all the other greens and things, the colour contrast you get is incredible.
And I wish, when I'd planned my garden, I wish I'd had more variation in my Acers because I've got a lot of the Orange Dream actually, Bex.
Have you?
Yeah, which is lovely. But I think having three very different ones, and then don't forget when it comes to autumn, you're going to get other colours. You're going to get yellows. You're going to get reds with these as well. So you're going to get a beautiful autumn show as well.
Yeah, they give you a blaze of colour in the autumn. But there's nothing major you need to do when it comes to looking after these. Two simple rules. Don't put them in full sun and don't put them in an exposed position. They want to be in a dappled shade and a slightly sheltered position out of any really strong winds. After that, these are winter hardy. I'm going to put it out there, and I have killed an Acer in the past myself, but it's really hard to kill an Acer. It's really hard to do it. These don't need a huge amount of looking after at all.
I always think, to some degree, you can look at a plant and know what it needs, and the leaves are very delicate, so you know that a strong wind would damage them. You know that really harsh sun would fry them to some degree. So yeah, those simple rules that Bex has given you, keep them out of like really harsh sun and keep them in a sheltered corner. I've got to be careful with Acers because I've only got one side of my garden that is protected from the wind, but they do great there.
Yeah.
If I put them anywhere else, they would not survive. But in that sheltered side that I've got, they do amazing. Really quite slow growing. Some Acers, you know, will take several decades to get to full size, but for me, Acers give you serenity, they give you peace in the garden. They look great by water features, they look great by things like Buddhas as well, don't they?
Yeah, I love it when you get a few statues going on in the garden. It's you can create a lovely zen, peaceful corner of the garden by planting Acers and things like that in there.
So I went really north there, next to Buddha.
Next to a Buddha.
But yeah, they're just beautiful, aren't they?
And they work really nicely, so sometimes I move all my Acers from the back garden, because they're all in pots, I'm never leaving them anywhere. I move all my Acers into the front of the house, and then I've got my pots with my hostas there, because I think the leaves of the Acers, the dissected leaves and the maple-shaped leaves work really beautifully with the lush foliage that you've got with hostas and ferns.
I saw yours.
Like
I remember seeing yours last year with hostas. They look lovely.
Gorgeous, yeah.
Really works. But I've got some really big ones in my borders, but they really do look great in pots. We've got some great pots, don't forget. I think, Bex, these could look good in the Lavelle planters, don't you?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah? Do you think?
Yeah, they totally
I
could
think
go in the
so.
Laval planters, and they could stay in there for a good few years
Yeah,
as well. Because
I
the
think
beautiful
so.
thing about acers is that they're quite slow growing, so it's not going to take over very, very quickly.
But I think,
But yeah, in the
they're
Laval planters, they will work in there for a while.
And what I'd do as those grow and fill out, you could easily put a little bit of bedding around them for the first year or so
Yeah.
until it fills out. But that is going to really work, isn't it? Or some gravel, sometimes some nice gravel. Yeah, but those Laval planters, don't forget, it's a twin pack for $14.98. But if you double up, if you go for 4 of them, like 2 twins, then you'll get them for £5 each. So it's $19.98 if you double up and go for, say, the twin.
Adam has sent us some pictures of his acers, which we're looking at right now. Oh, look at that one. That's beautiful.
I mean, just absolutely
the colours.
gorgeous, isn't it?
Is that is it Jordan? Maybe it's Jordan. I don't know. It's so pretty. Yeah, I love them. I love them mixed in with all that other foliage in there, like the conifer that you've got at the back there. That really highlights the one in front of it. It's gorgeous. Is it still in a pot though? Is that what you're saying, Stu? Yeah. Oh, look, they're just beautiful.
Lovely.
Absolutely adore them. That's gorgeous, Adam. Thank you.
I bought an acer the other week, didn't I?
Did you? Which one did you get?
I can't remember what it's called now.
Was it Moonrise?
No,
Acer Shirosa.
No, it's a pink one.
That would be Jordan. Oh, Taylor, that's the one. Taylor. Stuart said it. Taylor.
I don't think it was.
Was it the ones? No, it was the
It was
ones
a
we had
big
on
one.
recently
It was
that
a big
didn't have
one.
the Acer-like leaves. It was the other ones,
it's the
wasn't it?
one that grows fast.
A Gundo Flamingo.
Yes.
That's the one, wasn't
Yeah.
it? Yeah, I remember. I remember you saying it.
Yeah. Seriously, there's that. So I love acers, but the more different colours you get in an acer collection, the better it looks.
Yeah.
And those 3 have been beautifully selected to give you really the most contrast you could ever imagine.
Absolutely.
So,
and the 3 of those for that price,
It's
it's
amazing.
a big £25 saving.
Yeah.
3 of those for under £20. Honestly, that is incredible value for money.
And what I've noticed, I'm just going to put it out there, there's a supermarket near me that does sell acers, but they just have one variety and hundreds of them, and
I'm never sure of the quality.
No.
I'm never sure of the quality.
and they're a lot smaller than these. They're really, really tiny.
Yeah.
But 3 absolutely stunning acers. That orange dream. I mean, that's not looking massively orange, but it does. And the new growth.
Oh, it goes. Yeah. Once it matures a little bit, it goes a beautiful colour.
And that emerald lace. Look at that one.
I love that.
Isn't that just stunning?
Yeah.
And the Achapurpureum, that one though, which is the burgundy. I love those. Amazing value. And the 3 in pots together would really make the most impressive show. So, I mean, club members, and most of you are $17.97 for those.
Great price.
Yeah, £6 each. And so our head gardener, he knows those 3 really complement each other together. Right, Coreopsis time next.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Gorgeous. Right, you say how much you love the yellow in your garden, and you can't go wrong with Coreopsis, the early sunrise. Gorgeous, dazzling yellow double flowers that you get from these, and another one that's going to give you flowers for a really long season as well. Right the way through. They start in May time. That's definitely when mine started, and they're going to keep going all the way through to October as well. You get lovely sort of compact mounds of dense foliage, and then these lovely, slender stems, but nice and strong, rising up out the top of that foliage. It's a naturally sort of rugged prairie plant, but it's very low maintenance, incredibly easy to grow, and drought tolerant as well. It's not one that needs you out there watering it every single day.
Have you seen the price bags?
Yeah, I have.
I mean, 3 for £9.99.
Yeah.
And look at how healthy and big these already are.
I mean, look at that one, for example. Look at, the side shoots coming out of there. This one's been cut back at some point, but then you've got this lovely new stem coming up here. We've got a flower bud.
Yeah.
Another one there, another one there. These are absolutely just raring to grow in your garden. They are going to flower away super quickly. Look at the roots on there as well.
Do you know what I'm going to say? I know we've all been complaining about the weather, but actually, in terms of planting perennials right now, this weather really helps us because the ground isn't really hard and dry.
No, it's very true.
Sometimes you try and plant a perennial in June and we've had a couple of weeks of baking sun, and actually it's not a good time because the ground is too dry. You've got to really make sure that you're watering all the time. But for most of us, depending where you live, the ground in my garden, it's wet, it's easy to plant right now. We're getting regular showers, but that's really good for plants.
It's
isn't
great,
it?
absolutely.
It is.
Yeah.
So It's a very, very good time to plant right now, and you are going to get 3 of those. And they should all flower loads this year.
Absolutely loads, yeah. And they will grow to about 50 centimetres in height. They'll spread by about 50 centimetres. You will be able to divide any clumps in subsequent years as well. So you will get free flowers from these ones. They're really easy. They have the Royal Horticultural Society Award of Garden Merit. That's how easy these are. I mean, not just because it has the Royal Horticultural Society Award does it mean that it's an easy plant to grow, but it does mean it's garden worthy. It does mean it can cope with all of our kind of, British conditions that we get.
Sorry, I was just having a nose at some of the emails coming in.
Susan, the emails, looking at the pictures.
Well,
we love looking at your pictures.
You know we were talking about oranges going with purples?
Yes.
So Sandy has said exactly the same. She has got geums with bulbs mauve.
Yes, that's exactly what I want to do.
Yes.
Is that the picture?
Yep.
That's exactly what I want to do. Oh my word, who was this?
That was Sandy.
Sandy, thank you so much, because
great,
I
isn't it?
thought it was going to work, and now you've sent me that picture. I can see that it absolutely is going to work.
Yeah, so thank you for sending that picture in,
Thank
Sandy.
you.
Really appreciate it, and you've confirmed everything we thought was right.
Now I'm definitely convinced. That's exactly what I'm going to plant.
We were 99.9% there, but you got us that 100%.
That looks beautiful.
Absolutely stunning.
Oh, she's got an acer behind it, apparently. Oh, yeah, look. I wonder what variety that is. Lovely light coloured leaves on it. That's gorgeous.
Love it.
Yeah. Beautiful.
Oh, I love this
thank you.
modern
Apparently, that's the
this
first time
modern
you've emailed,
technology,
so thank you for emailing in.
Thank you very much. Anyway.
Hanging baskets.
Oh, sorry. I thought it said in your basket. So I was Stu talking. I was like, what's going in my basket?
Everything.
Plenty of things are going in my basket. I have got a list.
Hypericum.
Definitely hypericum today. I want the geums. I want the pumpkin geums.
I want more acers.
Yeah, always room for more acers.
Always room for more acers.
I'm going to buy the chocolate hydrangea as well.
Yeah, very nice.
Yeah.
We've got some hanging baskets. If you want to add these into your basket, I know you finished your hanging baskets.
I'll be honest,
now,
I don't.
You've done yours.
I bought some as well, and I finished doing mine. So
that's fine. But if you have not done your hanging baskets yet, we have got our pre-planted hanging baskets for you. These are filled with the petunia wave mix. There is a bit of a red, white, and blue theme going on in here. I know there's a bit of pink as well.
Yeah.
But if you are, supporting any of the sporting events that are happening this summer, there's the Euros coming. We've got Olympics later on in the year. Maybe you want to theme your garden to the red, white, and blue colours. If you're supporting Britain, that is. Of course, if you want to support some other countries, so go ahead. But yeah, look, they are absolutely gorgeous. Petunias, to me, normally they say hanging baskets. Hanging baskets without petunias sometimes don't feel like a hanging basket.
Yeah, I agree. Especially when you're doing a mixed basket, but they do look good. A few times I have done all petunias, and it just works, doesn't it?
It does, yeah. There's a reason you see them in shopping centres and down the centre of high streets and things like that, and that's because they look absolutely amazing. You get loads and loads of flowers from them, and they're pretty easy to look after, aren't they?
Well,
feed and water them and a bit of deadheading, and you are assured of a beautiful display all the way through the summer.
And there's no excuses. Don't say, I couldn't feed my hanging basket, because with every order today, and we've been really busy this Thursday, so thank you so much. You're going to get your blooming fast. It's our top-selling fertiliser. Don't look at that little bag and go, oh, it's a sample size. That will make 100 litres.
Yeah.
You can buy ready mixed plant food, 1 litre bottles, and pay £7 or £8 nowadays. So it's the same story as your screen wash. You can buy the ready mixed stuff, or you can buy the tablets and make it yourself.
Exactly.
So honestly, do not underestimate that. And the only thing, when you've got so many plants, and these are quite deeply planted in the basket, you do need to keep on top of watering and feeding. I'd be feeding this once a week, absolute minimum.
Yeah, if you can't, I'm looking for more deadheads.
There's not left.
I love deadheading petunias. I can't remember what I was going to say.
Feeding and watering we're talking about, Bex.
Yeah, it's such a simple job to do, but by doing that and doing it on a regular basis, I'm trying to do every week, but even if it's every 2 weeks, it will make the biggest difference to your hanging baskets.
And don't rely on the rain, because quite often when you've got a basket that's so full like this, when it rains, the rain does not necessarily get right into the compost.
Yeah.
So do bear that in mind.
Get your nozzle.
I've made that mistake before. I thought, it rained today, the baskets will be fine, and they're not. the rain doesn't always get in there enough. So
No.
that's all you need to do. The clip, did you say, Bex, it comes off?
I did not actually, yeah. So it's an anti-twist hanging bit here, but this is where they clip into place. I'm not going to undo it because I'll drop it on the floor. But you can just get your thumb under here and these will unclip from there. So you can take the hanging bits off and you can just have it as a pot. So even with the petunias in there, if you put that on a table outside, the petunias will just tumble and trail over the edges. And of course you can just use them again next year. Once they're done, just empty them out, store them somewhere and bring them back out next year.
I'll put some spring bulbs in there.
Yeah, or some winter bedding or something.
Yeah, so amazing value. And don't forget, I mean, if you break this down, I'll get it right this time. $22.48 is the club price, but then you're getting the equivalents of £5 worth of blooming fast, or £4.50 if you're in the club. So take £4.50 off your £22.48, £18. It works out £9 a basket for club members, which is just amazing. And all the work's been done. They would make a great gift. I mean, I love flowers, but nowadays I can't help but think how expensive flowers are and how little they last often.
Yeah, if you're buying a bouquet of flowers. Yeah.
Now, I mean, the price is ridiculous.
I used to love going and buying bouquets of flowers, but I can't afford it.
Right.
I can't afford it.
This sounds a bit mean, but my brother bought my mum daffodils for Mother's Day, and they were in a lovely big box.
Mm-hmm.
They only lasted about 4 days. I bought my mum an orchid in a bowl, and it's still flying now.
Mine
and
is too. I got one for Mother's Day. It's beautiful.
So plants to me, and I also thought, flowers often they're brought from other countries. A lot of flowers are imported, so environmentally it's not great either. So give somebody the gift of a plant, and they're going to enjoy that all summer long. Yeah, amazing. Right. Back to our eucalyptus.
Yeah, I love this. Say again, sorry.
Are you tempted with this one?
Do you know what? I am, because I do love eucalyptus. I've always wanted one in my garden, but I know I can't plant a eucalyptus tree in my garden. It's just too big. It's unmanageable for the space that I've got. Whereas this would be perfect, because I can just keep this in a pot. It's very easy for me to then prune it and clip it and maintain it in this beautiful shape. But I've then got that eucalyptus with that gorgeous fragrance that you get from those leaves when you squish them. That eucalyptus... Oh, it's delightful. I can cut it if I want to. So this year I'm going to make my own, what's it called? Wreath. I'm going to make...
I love playing guess the next word with Bex. I might think that lovely. I'm like...
I'm going to make my own wreath this year. So I could use bits of the eucalyptus to be able to feed into my wreath. I could use it for cut flower displays. That was a good line, Stu. I like that.
I'm thinking of maybe getting this from Mum's garden, because again, she's not got room for big eucalyptus. So it's a lot more compact, smaller leaves, winter hard. It's about -20, often known as the baby eucalyptus. This one, it's a gunny eye, and you've got a £15 saving. That is really special. Have you seen that ever in a garden centre nursery? I haven't.
I love it, and for it to get fashioned into this standard shape as well, by the way, a lot of work has gone into that. It is normally up at the £40 section, and that's because this has taken a lot of skill to get it to where it's at right now.
You could buy a regular eucalyptus pretty much in any nursery, but not the gunny eye that's been shaped as a standard. It is really special, that one, really amazing, and it is going to stand out in your garden. It's one of those.
Totally, yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I think if Mum's watching, I think that'd look gorgeous in her little garden. Yeah. Right, also really popular today, we have got our castor oil
love this.
plant, the Fatsia japonica. It's an absolute winner, this one.
Look how glossy those leaves are. Look how tropical that feels. Imagine what that's going to do to your garden. But it's super easy to look after, even though it's got this tropical feel to it. And you're thinking, oh, it might need a bit of extra winter protection. And can that really go outdoors? That looks more like an indoor plant. No, Fatsias are winter hardy. Super easy to look after. Don't even need the full sun position. Actually, they're much happier in a more shaded position.
So I've grown these in a fairly shady spot, and they've done great.
Yeah, Royal Horticultural Society Award of Garden Merit, so an award winner. It's also perfect for pollinators, and we're talking late pollinators as well, because the flowers come later. So, you know, when there's not much pollen around for them, actually, this one flowers sort of October, November into December, so it's a great one for the later pollinators. It's a wonderful plant. I'm a big fan of Fatsia.
And so winter hardy. On a really, really bad winter, a couple of the shoots went a little bit black with the frost, and I literally just chopped them off and I got loads of new shoots. But I've never ever lost one in the winter time.
No, I think occasionally if it's really cold and really frosty, they might just droop a little bit. They look a little bit sad for a few days, but as soon as it's gone, they perk right back up again. And look, this is why I've added Fatsia into my garden. First of all, it's happy in clay soil, and I've got clay soil, so it really isn't fussy about soil types. It's big, it's luscious, it's tropical, and it's really easy to look after. And you can keep it in a pot if you don't want it to get massive.
And relatively quick growing. That price for the size that you get in the 17 centimetre pot is absolutely incredible. 17 centimetre pot for just $14.99 or $13.49 if you are a club member. But they look great in a corner of the garden, and you can grow them in pots as well. Don't forget, if you're trying to get your order to over £40 to get the free delivery, you might need some compost today. Or if you've already placed an order and you're thinking, hang on, I'd like another free gift today, please.
This is a great way of doing it.
Just do a separate order for your compost. You get another bag of our Blooming Fast worth £4.99. But it's our best-selling product on the YouGarden website. It's been our best-selling product on the shopping channels. The reviews that have come in over the past few days are all 5 stars, and it smells good, Bex.
It smells so good. It smells fresh. It smells healthy. And we know that this is going to do an amazing thing for our plants. It's packed with vital ingredients that are going to feed your plants. Plants don't just want water, they want feed. They want this kind of feed, but they also want the kind of feed that you've got in here. Peat reduced, pH balanced, the fertiliser that's included. It's a really carefully put together list of ingredients.
So composted wood fibre, 3 different types of peat. The wetting agent, so it easily rehydrates when it dries out. The pH buffer, so it's the right pH for nearly every plant. What have I missed out, Bex? Slow release fertiliser. Fertiliser. Go on. Try to do that quickly.
Little green balls.
But it is amazing, and I know most of you know that. An incredible compost, and it could be yours today. I mean, if you work out the value for club members, $22.48, but you're getting your Blooming Fast, which at full price is worth £5, included with your order today, and free delivery as well. 100-125. Right, loads of you have gone for our perennial collection today as well. I mean, it's a buy one get one free. So 18 plants for club members for £17.99. £1 a plant.
£1 a plant. And these are not lazy selections, by the way. There are some absolute winners in there.
I'd say all winners, wouldn't you?
Absolutely. Hollyhocks and salvias and geums and... Oh my word, there's so... Look at that.
I know. You might get echinacea in there. You may get foxgloves. You might get...
Rebecca's have been in there before. There are so many in there. The beautiful thing that you're going to get with this perennial plant collection is, first of all, great value for money. But you're going to get months of colour. You're going to get a variety of shapes and sizes. You're going to get things that will flower in May, and you'll get things that will flower in October, and every month in between.
Right, I'm just going to take. That's a Gladia, isn't it? I'm going to take it with a salvia. Put the two together. We talk about orange and purple, Bex.
Oh, look at that!
Look at that.
That's the Lucan, that's the Madonna.
God.
Love that.
But I mean, look, look at the size. These have been randomly selected. You will get a look at it. But that Gladia there with the salvia, absolutely stunning. So, amazing value. Honestly, Bex has suggested if you're strapped for cash, buy them, take them to car boots, and you'll easily double your money. You get £2 a plant easily.
Easy, I'd love it.
I mean, that's at a car boot when people want a bargain.
I need to make some extra cash. I might be doing it. Let's do it.
You've been spending too much.
I wish I had. Right, Hyperica Miracle Attraction is next. I'm so glad that this is now on our favourites table and that you have been buying this, because it genuinely is one of our absolute favourites. The flowers, the buds, the fruits, there's so much going on with this, and for a really long time as well, because it starts flowering in June time, and I've seen them all over the place when I'm out on my dog walks. They're looking stunning, but then you get the buds and you you get the berries on there as well. It's incredible, this plant.
And lots of people saying how polished those buds look, and they do. They're absolutely beautiful.
I haven't polished them, I promise you. That's what they look like.
It's true.
I haven't been round there with my little dusting brush and polishing them
we've not been out with the pledge, don't worry.
No, I haven't done it.
But yeah, it's a stunner. It gives so much interest for so many months, and £9.99, an absolute winner. That is on my list today. And a big pot, a 2 litre pot, 510-890. Don't forget, we brought you some amazing garden ready plants as well, live on YouGarden TV today. We brought you our verbena. We brought you the incredible, of course, my favourite, the begonias. We brought you the snapdragons, and we brought you the Fire Queen geranium. So if you'd like to go for the begonia apricot shades, it's a double up deal, and you're going to get 20 plants garden ready. You can put them out right now. They're going to already be in bud and flower for just £17.99. That is for 20 plants. 410-050. Then we also brought you the beautiful, exquisite collection of the verbenas, and these are the verbena quartz. You get lots of bicolours, different centres to the flowers, tricolours actually. So you get many different colours and varieties. They love the sunshine. They're quite compact, about 25 centimetres maximum, and they will flower and delight you all summer long. Reduced in price today. You can now double up and get 20 plants for £14.98. Honestly, you could pay, I would say, between £2 to maybe even £3.99 for one plant in a 9 centimetre pot nowadays. You know, individual bedding plants are really expensive this year, but this saves you so much money. And the big plants, garden ready. Then we brought you the antirrhinums, the snapdragons, as they're often called, a really lovely mix known as the mini butterflies mix, and you get 10 plants for just £8.99. And a bit more compact these, so they're only about 25 centimetres, so great in your beds and borders. And from my own experience, you often get these to reseed, so you might even get some free plants next year. Won't promise it, but you might well. 410-048. And then finally, you saw what Bex had done with her front door. I love these. I've got them myself this year in my mum's garden, in my garden. They are the Fire Queen, and do you know what? When you get big bursts of red, it just looks so good, doesn't it? And these just steal the show. I think they look good en masse. Like Bex has put them all together there in a pots with the lobelia in the background, and for me that just works so well. That is bright, that is joyous. Geraniums are drought tolerant. If you go away on holiday, I mean, if Bex went away for a 2-week holiday, she'd come back, and if we'd had 2 weeks of sun, the lobelia would be all fried and frazzled, but the geraniums would be absolutely fine. The hanging baskets, they'd look absolutely ruined with 2 weeks of no water. But again, the geraniums would be fine. So do bear in mind they are drought tolerant. And what I would say is, don't waste them at the end of the year. Just bring some inside, have them as house plants, take some cuttings, and then you can have geraniums for many years to come. But they're amazing value. Garden ready, 10 of them for just £8.99 today. Right, we are nearly out of time. I'm taking a couple of weeks just to get stuff done at home and having a few trips out.
Very nice.
Don't miss me too much, especially you, Elaine, missing this sexy face.
We'll bring another beard in. Don't worry. We'll have somebody else with a beard.
Is Dan going to be on?
I know. We've got Adam, I think, coming back in.
Well, Adam's got stubble, hasn't he?
He has?
Yeah. I'm sure you can find somebody a lot sexier than me, Bex. Won't be that hard. Trust me.
Don't put yourself down. You're beautiful. Beautiful man.
I've had a lovely time today, Bex.
Good. So me too.
It's been good, hasn't it?
It's been nice having you back.
And you have made the day for us. It's been really busy. We're going to leave you the details with the oleanders, rather. We've got pink, we've got red. The best thing is we've got double up deals. So 2 of these stunning Mediterranean plants for under £20.
Yeah, it's an incredible deal. It's the best price we have brought for you. If you only want one, we've still got an amazing deal because these are half price. Yeah. They're normally £29.99. You can get one for £14.99. But if you can double up, then do that because they will work out £10 each. I really like the idea, as we were saying before, give a plant as a gift. Yeah. You know, if you're going to buy somebody a bunch of flowers, why not buy them an oleander instead? So
don't forget, and if you've tried oleanders before and not been successful, just bear in mind they are hardest about -5. So if it's anywhere near that in the winter, just give them that added protection. I would personally keep them in pots for the first few years.
You can move them easily.
Yeah,
then,
you can fleece them, but they want full sun. And if you give them full sun as much as possible, they'll grow quicker, they'll be healthier, and you'll get flowers all summer long, even into October. I've even known them flower a little bit in November. Not loads of flowers, but on a good year, I've even known
it depends on the weather, doesn't it? But we know we're getting those mild Octobers, and these do flower all summer long, giving you that feel of holiday as well. If you are lucky enough to have been to some of those lovely hot countries, you will have seen these growing just so easily out there. They're well suited to our British climate.
And fully evergreen. So winter hardy to -5. Just don't eat any part of them. That applies to you and your pets. Amazing in terms of their breeding, grown by what we know as the top breeder in the world, based in Sicily. It's a family business. So there's the pigs. The only reason you're getting this price is because we work so well with our top breeder. We bring thousands, probably tens of thousands this year.
There's lots of them.
Yeah. So
well,
we get a massive discounted price. And you've got the red ones, Bex.
Yeah, gorgeous red. Not the Fire Queen bright red colour, but a beautiful deep kind of shade of almost a slightly maroony pink tinge to them. I think it's a very classy colour indeed. If you want the double up deal, make sure you put 2 of these in your basket. These are shots, by the way, from the nursery, and this was done just last week. That is what they look like. They all look absolutely amazing. In fact, they probably look even better a week on. In fact, I might have a little wander this afternoon and go and have a look at those. Put 2 in your basket to get that double up deal, and make sure you enter the code YGTV2424. That's where you get your saving, but also your free gift.
Yeah, and again, when you break down the price and think, well, I'm getting a £5 worth of free gift, we are blooming fast. The value that you get on these shows it is incredible.
It really is.
I think you just can get so much for so little, basically, and excellent quality. And don't forget any plants that are fully winter hardy. These aren't, because we say -5, but any of the fully winter hardy plants, like the hypoca that's been popular, the castor oil plants, the eucalyptus, any of those do have that lifetime guarantee as well. Few reminders, you need to always put that offer code in.
Yeah, YGTV2424. That unlocks your buy one, get one free, double up deal. Anything that's got a saving on it, if you don't put the code in, it won't apply those offers, but it will also put that free gift into your basket, which is worth £4.99 this week.
Yeah, and don't forget also, if you spend over £40, you will get free delivery. If you can't spend over £40 with us, then it's £6.99 per order.
And one final thing, if you are not yet a member of our discount club, you really need to be. We do get new members joining every week because we're constantly getting new viewers. Costs just £5 to join at the club. It lasts you for 12 months. It auto-renews. You can cancel that at any point. What that gives you, those 10% discount off pretty much everything that we bring you in the potting shed. The plants, the pots, the compost. And you get £20 worth of YouGarden vouchers to spend throughout the year. It's a no-brainer.
It
you
really
definitely
is.
want to be in that club.
We worked for YouGarden, another shop.
For years.
And we didn't know about the club.
Did not know about the club.
And then we started here last August.
Yeah. We were like, hang on a minute.
They never used to tell the viewers about the club.
No.
They didn't. So you know about this club
you
now.
know.
And if you're not members, Bex says join. All I can say is the biggest thank you goes to every one of you, lovely gardening friends. Thank you for all of your messages, your pictures, your emails, your comments. We love it, don't we?
Yeah, and we'll be back here on, well, I will be, on Sunday, 10 until 2 o'clock. So do come and join us then.
And I'm at QVC on Sunday as well, at 10 o'clock. Can watch both of us.